What up? All right, boys. Okay. Lots of stuff going on right now. Okay. Just wait for some folks to get in here, man. I got something to watch while we're waiting too. That's kind of what I do. Is I pick a video that isn't incredibly entertaining, but something I can comment on, and then I use that while I wait for everyone to get in, because I'm not big enough yet to have like a shitload of people join like right in the very beginning, you know. It is pretty interesting what's going on right now, though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm obviously keeping a tight watch on everything. All right. Go ahead and cut that off. All right, guys. What's going on? Welcome back. Yeah, this is just my little opening thing here. I thought this was funny. It says how liberal women would protect the border if illegal immigrants looked like Cindy Sweeney, bro. They would be lined up. What up, Charles Darwin? Good to see you, my man. They would be lined up by the thousands on thousands on thousands to open fire into these crowds. I promise you. If they're willing to do that to people trying to get rid of them, the people that they actually want here, they would do the exact same thing to a bunch of white people trying to come in. They would be protesting in droves. They hate white culture. They hate all of that. And they're just not willing to admit that that's no different than black people. I have no idea, my friend. They're just not willing to admit that that there's a difference between people hating white folks and white people who like genuinely hate people of a specific race. There's no fucking difference, right? They'd like to say, oh, there's a power structure involved in all that. No, it's not. Like, I grew up poor as shit. Poorer than, like, just as poor as other black families. Okay? And I didn't even grow up racist. You know what's funny is like I grew up kind of abhorring those things. It's why I used to be a Democrat. Now I've gotten to this point where the more people have tried to shove that label into my face, the more I welcome it. the more I look into, well, what do racist people actually think? And I look, okay, and you see, like, man, like, there's some actual points that they have. Not saying that other races are bad, but it's just a fact, right? It's just a fact. When you look at what racist people actually believe, every side gets things right, you know? And when you start to admit those kinds of things, that's when they label you as one of those people. And over time, people who are willing to, like, genuinely look and take a nuanced perspective on things, if the radical side continues to shove all of those people away, they're going to have no allies. And that's where the Democrats are at right now. So, Tim Walz, he put this out today on X. I am making a direct appeal to the president. Let's turn the temperature down. Stop this campaign of retribution. This is not who we are. And an appeal to Minnesotans. I know this is scary. We must speak out urgently, loudly, but also peacefully. We cannot fan the flames of chaos. That's what he wants. So you could have put this out before all that bullshit, before coming out and saying, this is Gestapo, this is that, yada, yada. Well, he could have done that before. He could have put this out before saying all of that. And now that you have these droves of people that are going into the streets and getting mowed down by fucking protesters, whether it be pepper balls, pepper spray, handcuffs, actual bullets, whatever it may be, right? He could have avoided all of this. You know, if you wanted to turn the temperature down, see, it's one thing, right? It's one thing for a state to not capitulate to the local government. It's another thing for them to say what the government is doing is fascism and authoritarianism, and then take the neutral stance. Those are two completely different things, right? One is you are emboldening people to put themselves into harm's way to commit a crime, which is impeding government officers. That is a crime, right? People want to talk about the Constitution and all this shit. It is a crime to impede federal officers. These people would not have anything to do with U.S. citizens if people weren't giving them such a fucking hassle. You cannot show me. I mean, I haven't seen any videos of anywhere besides like L.A. and Minneapolis and New York and places where these officers have to cover their faces. I haven't seen that anywhere because it's not happening anywhere else. In Alabama, the state just gives the illegals to ICE. They don't have to go out and bust up whole houses and shit. They don't have to do these massive, large-scale raids because the local governments work with them. The police are bringing these people in, and they're just handing them off to ICE. That's it. But when the police don't want to work with ICE, then ICE has to go out there and do their thing. So it's funny because the local politicians put them in a position where they need, like, they have a job. They were given that job by the government. So these local governments know that. So in order for these agencies to do their job, they need either the cooperation from the state or they need to go out and get these people. So instead of just taking your hands off and saying we're taking a neutral stance, we're not going to do anything about it, they inflame all these people with this like crazy, exaggerated, dramatic rhetoric, and then they don't themselves do anything to stop it. Like, courts are saying, yep, he has the right to do this. They're giving him the green light, back to back. This is all legal. It's all legal. And it's a bunch of dipshits that don't really know what the fuck they're talking about that are coming out going, no, this is illegal. This is wrong. No, it's not. The courts wouldn't side with this shit at all. It would be smacked down immediately if it was illegal. Remember during Biden's presidency when he tried to usurp our Fourth Amendment rights through OSHA? That got smacked down by the courts. Quick. It would happen. It would happen. This is all legal. But these people, what they want to do is they want to go out and they want to commit crimes in the name of, you know, loving the Constitution or saving democracy or whatever. They want to go out and they want to commit crimes and put themselves in the way of these federal officers who are just doing their jobs. And then cry about it when they get BTFO'd, man. I mean, That's what's going on right now, and it's not going to stop. I really don't believe it's going to stop. It's going to keep going. These people aren't actually going to get in the way of these protesters doing anything. They need to quell the riots. That's really what needs to happen. The local government needs to quell the riots. We shouldn't have to send the fucking military into these cities in order to quell these riots just so the federal government can do their job. Like, that's what people elected Trump to do. That was the top issue. And he talked about it for like fucking 3 years while people were pouring over the southern border. He was like, we're going to mass deport all these people if you hire me. Now, he hasn't necessarily done that yet. I think he should do more, honestly, but, we'll see what happens.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. My name is Matt Morris. We are live right now on Rumble as well as on YouTube. Folks, today we have a lot to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, after an ICE officer was forced to defend himself with lethal force late last night in Minneapolis from a group of violent far-left radicals and at least one illegal alien, absolutely insane, chaotic riots broke out on the streets of Minneapolis yet again.
Yep.
Federal law enforcement officers were attacked. They were assaulted. Federal vehicles were broken into. Sensitive documents and documentation, as well as weaponry, was stolen by the rioters from inside of the federal law enforcement vehicles. Really, it was complete and total anarchic chaos.
Absolutely, Charles Darwin. And, I mean, he should have done that shit a while ago. So, apparently, the big statement that he released earlier was the first step in doing that. So the first step is an announcement. I am going to invoke the Insurrection Act, and then doing it. Apparently, we'll see the truth to that. I'd like to see if that's the truth, but apparently he has to announce it and then do it versus just doing it.
And so in response, ladies and gentlemen, this morning, President Trump has just taken the first official legal step towards officially invoking the Insurrection Act.
Funny enough, I did not know he was about to say that, by the way. I haven't watched this yet.
And by the way, there is a massive component to properly invoking the Insurrection Act, a legislative step, a very specific legislative step that must be taken that President Trump just took this morning, which will ultimately allow him to invoke the insurrection.
What up, Balsania? Good to see you, man. Never lucky rubber ducky. What's up, boys? What's up, boys? Balsania, so I kind of stepped away from streaming for a little bit because my drinking got really out of hand. And then I was trying to make a comeback right before Christmas, and I got into an accident, and I fucked my shit up bad, dude. Like, I fractured my skull, broke my nose. I busted my tooth, split my lip down the middle. I was like fucking Predator, So, I am officially back now. By the way, guys, huge numbers on the stream a couple nights ago. Like, I got almost 300 views on that stream. Fucking huge, man. It's fantastic.
Action Act and use the U.S. military to help squash all of this seditious, far-left, radically progressive behavior that we have seen on the streets of Minneapolis. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do today is...
Oh, yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely. That was coming up on like 3 weeks ago now. I'm good now. It was tough, though. It was tough.
Is conduct a recap of everything that took place late last night in the Minneapolis suburbs, and then we're going to talk about this entire dynamic as it pertains to the Insurrection Act. So, ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor, make sure to like, subscribe to the channel on Rumble as well as on YouTube. Everyone, thank you very much for being here. If you have missed it, this is going to blow your mind. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what took place late last night on the streets of Minneapolis. These are pictures from northern Minneapolis late last night where rioters destroyed federal vehicles and stole firearms, ammunition, and sensitive documents from inside of the federal vehicles. And all of this was captured on live stream. We've got footage of this that we're going to take a look at.
Yeah, he's got to invoke this Insurrection Act now. Like, they need to start sending the fucking military out here. For real. If they're doing this shit again, bro, again, they're doing this. This is the kind of stuff, right? And like, I'm so glad that this is everywhere, because this is the exact thing that turned people off of the LA riots over in Los Angeles. Notice how no one talks about that anymore, because it made them look like such fucking assholes. This is the kind of shit that works in the benefit of the people that support ICE. Like, these people out here, they think they're making a statement. They think they're standing up for democracy or whatever. All they're doing is losing support. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Take a look at this. Does this look like America, or does this look like
Mogadishu?
Like
it's Somalia. Yeah,
these are the streets of Minneapolis. You have Somalian rioters down here flipping people off. ICE, vehicles smashed open, looted, pillaged. They tried to light these things on fire. ICE. We've got a bunch of photos. Another one. Busted open windows. Hang racists, I believe is what that
says. Hang Christy
Another one that
says
ICE. They pried open the side of the gas door there. Pillaged, ripped apart.
This shit's so cringe, dude. It's so cringe. And like, people don't like this stuff. They don't support this shit. Everyday people want to wake up and go to their job and go home. Most people in the country didn't even vote in the last election. Most people don't give a fuck about this kind of thing. They don't. They don't care. They want to be left alone. They want to live their life. And then they want to die, right? Like, they want to die and give their shit to their kids. That's what most people do.
Absolute and complete and total chaos. Now, folks, to put this into perspective, these are the series of events that transpired leading to these riots. Here's a report.
DHS says at 6:50 p.m. Central Time tonight, quote, federal law enforcement officers were conducting a targeted traffic stop in Minneapolis of an illegal alien from Venezuela who was released into the country by Joe Biden in 2022. In an attempt to evade arrest, the subject fled the scene in his vehicle and crashed into a parked car. The subject then fled on foot. The law enforcement officer caught up to the subject on foot and attempted to apprehend him when the subject began to resist and violently assault the officer. While the subject and law enforcement were in a struggle on the ground, two subjects came out of a nearby apartment and also attacked the law enforcement officer with a snow shovel and broom handle. As the officer was being ambushed and attacked by the two individuals, the original subject got loose and began striking the officer with a shovel or broomstick.
So at this point, you have a federal ICE officer who's trying to apprehend a Venezuelan illegal alien, chases him down, ends up on the ground, slips. There's a tussle down on the ground. Two more people come out of their house and they side with the illegal alien, beating up the federal ICE officer. Now it's a 3v1. They've got a shovel and a broom handle, beating the hell out of this guy.
Fearing for his life and safety as he was being ambushed by three individuals, the officer fired defensive shots to defend his life. The initial subject was hit in the leg. All three subjects ran back into the apartment and barricaded themselves inside. The attacked officer and subject are both in the hospital. Both attackers are in custody. This is another attack. This attack on another brave member of law enforcement took place while Minnesota's top leaders, Governor Walz and Mayor Fry, are actively encouraging an organized resistance to ICE and federal law enforcement officers. Their hateful rhetoric and resistance against men and women who are simply trying to do their jobs must end. So a very lengthy statement there, Sean, but it sounds a whole lot more complicated than what we initially had, that this was one person involved with a shovel. It sounds like ICE was going after a Venezuelan illegal alien who had been caught and released at the border by the Biden administration in 2022. That person crashed into a parked car, got out and fled. ICE was chasing him down. And then while they were wrestling on the ground, two people came out of a nearby apartment and then started attacking the ICE officer with shovels. And during that ambush attack, that is when the officer pulled out his weapon, fired, and hit one of the suspects, who, again, is stable. So it sounds like the suspects are in custody, and this is being described to Fox News from DHS as yet another attack on ICE officers in Minneapolis, Sean.
Well, really, this is yet another justified self-defense scenario. Similarly to how the ICE officer was justified in pulling his firearm and firing shots into the cab of ultimately taking Renee Good's life. This was another self-defense scenario. This guy was down on the ground getting beaten by one criminal illegal alien from Venezuela.
My question is, why is there only one officer out there trying to get somebody? There should have been a whole fucking car full of people. Where were they at? That's ridiculous.
Beating him with a shovel?
Like, we understand how violent these people are over here and how, like, radically they've been acting. It makes no sense whatsoever that there would be one officer by himself. If I'm wrong, but isn't inciting violence a federal crime? So aren't Walz and Fry not in prison? Because they're telling people not to... they're telling them to go out and make their voices heard, but they're not actually telling people go out and impede ICE. Because they're not allowed to do that. It's the same reason why they're not like putting their police out there to impede ICE. That's really what's going on, you know. And then now Walz goes out and he puts this fucking pussy ass statement to everybody. Hey, Mr. President, we need to turn the temperature down. You've been telling people this guy's a fucking dictator and he has a Gestapo force in your city forever. What temperature? See, now it's political temperature. Now it's political temperature. It has nothing to do with Gestapo forces and all this other fucking bullshit rhetoric these people pull. This solely is political. That's it. Exactly. He's covering his ass. Right. I mean, he's going to go to prison, dude. This guy's fucked. He's so cooked, dude. He's cooked.
And then two other people come out of the house and they pile on, similarly beating him. If this officer down on the ground late last night did not get his handgun out and fire a shot in self-defense, in all likelihood, he would be dead right now. That's the way things were going. But still, we all know the progressive left, the Democrats, they love their illegal aliens. And so they rioted last night. And we're going to take a look at a couple video clips here. Somalis and leftist rioters broke into numerous federal ICE vehicles and they were stealing federal documents.
Chat, they got their whole, wait, that document is their whole battle, like their battle plan out here, I guess.
Their whole battle plan. No, it's probably just information on the few people that those ICE officers in particular were going to get. That's it.
They got a hold of ICE's entire...
This is an ICE car, an ICE vehicle, federal law enforcement vehicle. They're they're slashing the tires, they're smashing windows.
Yeah, the Insurrection Act's getting invoked. They're going to send the military in. It's going to be martial law. We'll see how fucking like emboldened these people feel then. They're all going to cry pussy. Other governors are going to say this is wrong what's going on in Minneapolis. But like if anything, this all could have been fucking avoided.
Like game plan for Minneapolis, they said in the packet. That's what Status Quo is reading.
So what's it say? What's it say? If you all right, pussy. So you're saying you have the whole thing. Why would you not put that out to the general public? If you have the whole battle plan for this, why would you not put that out to the general public online where people are going to see what you have? Right? Because that's not what they have. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit. These people are LARPing, dude. They're LARPers.
They're ripping the documents out. I mean, look at this. This is going to blow your mind. I'm going to put this one up here on the big screen. Look at this. Folks, this is a weapons cache in the back of an ICE vehicle. The rioters here, they have a hatchet. They are busting it. There's a firearm, a rifle inside of this that they're trying to get out.
These people have no fucking idea the Pandora's box they just opened. And I'll be honest, dude. If Trump doesn't invoke the Insurrection Act and put an end to this, he's fucking weak. He's feckless. And I will never support anybody in his administration. They need to fucking stop this shit.
Almost there. Oh, wow. Oh my God. Oh my.
Now, this individual stole the FBI rifle. What's this tattoo he has on his face? To me, this almost looks like some type of cartel tattoo, like a Latin kings. It looks like a crown tattooed on this individual's face. And this guy's out here on the streets of Minneapolis breaking into federal vehicles, taking FBI rifles, ripping them out of the back of the car.
There's some bullets.
Hey, that's a 47.
I don't know.
They're taking the patches. They said, oh, get them bullets. Oh, gotta get them bullets. They're taking the patches. They took the rifle.
These people are so fucked, dude. See, this is when you have as feckless of a police force as somewhere as like Minneapolis does. These are the kinds of people that are out in the general public. These people need to go to prison. They all need to go to fucking prison. I don't understand why that's even like a debatable topic. If you're doing this to federal agency vehicles and no one's doing anything about it, and people feel emboldened enough to do something like this about it, you're so cooked, dude. You're so cooked. Like your city is. It's crazy that we're even here.
No way. Tourniquet there.
Did he get?
And by the way, they did this with numerous vehicles, not just one. They looted and pillaged numerous vehicles. In fact, it gets even worse. Anti-ICE rioters tied a tow rope to a weapons locker in a federal vehicle and ripped it out.
Hey, listen, I'll tell y'all now, they on the Snapchat, so they gonna be on y'all ass, y'all, if y'all recording this. They gonna be on your ass. They gonna be on your ass. Your ass is a witness. Hey, don't hit them.
And like, you got to think, these fucking morons, dude, all these people out here, first off, they have the same average IQ of Somalis. It's like 60 something, right? But they're all videotaping each other, probably on Facebook Live or other, like, they're all live right now. These people, like, that's what's absolutely crazy to me. They're not taking private videos. They are all live on Facebook, showing off to their friends what they're doing. And that's all being documented. That's all being kept. Like, these people are so fucking stupid, bro. It blows my mind. And all these people, these videos are going to be found. Yeah, these videos are going to be found. These people are going to go to jail. They're going to cry victim and pussy. And you know what's coming next? The fucking military is about to declare martial law on Minneapolis. That's what's about to happen.
And so today, with this one, do they ultimately bust this one open? They lift it up. They're trying to smash this thing open. They're like listen, in the least racist way possible, I want to say this is like a group of chimpanzees banging around down here, of course, in the least racist way
It's
possible.
exactly what it
This
is, dude.
Insane. This is insanity. It gets even worse. There are videos of anti-ICE rioters breaking into federal vehicles and sifting through arrest warrants and sensitive information, DHS and ICE documents. Now, I want to make sure real quick that you can't actually read anything on these documents in the video. Of course, the footage is already out there. This all has millions of views, but I don't want to be involved in Okay, so I scanned around. You can't read any of the information, but watch, take a look at this.
Fake arrest warrants? Oh, what the hell? Bro, oh shit. Bro, you not arrest warrants.
This is insane.
Take these bitches to the news.
See, and you know what? Like, if they would have just, if the state would have just complied or didn't inflame the situation the way they did before they even got there, none of this would be going on. And they're going to cry pussy the second the military comes in. The second the military comes in and starts, like, really hurting people, putting them back into their houses, and everyone starts freaking out about that, just remember, every second of all of this was fucking avoidable. Every second of it.
And
The real focus, honestly, from any kind of messaging to this should be like, guys, do you live in Alabama? Do you live in Florida? Do you live in Texas? Do you live in Georgia? Do you live in Tennessee? Like, wonder why none of this stuff is going on there? Because they don't have to send officers out with masks on. They don't have to send officers into these other cities because the local government is just handing the people over. They don't have to. These people feel emboldened because this pussy-ass police department up there with a feckless, weak leader isn't doing what is not doing his job. Honestly.
And you know what? It gets even crazier. There was something else I want to show you here. Can I pull this one up? I thought I had this here ready to go. You know, maybe I haven't. There was this YouTuber, far left, radically progressive YouTuber by the name of Mercado Media.
They're so cooked, bro. They're so fucking cooked.
He was intentionally getting the camera right up close, looking at the information on the documents, saying, oh, wow, this is their game plan. He zoomed in the camera, and he's a leftist. He's down here on the streets. He's part of the riot. He was saying, oh, wow, look at this. We got to get this information out.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what, folks?
Go ahead. The military's coming, baby. And you're going to be crying about that shit. You're going to be fucking crying about that shit. Because I know you're allowed to video law enforcement. I don't think you're allowed to video the military.
I have the video. Take a look at this. Luckily, it is blurred out. Look at this. This will blow your mind.
I have stuff for you to see.
Oh, what do you got?
I have paperwork.
Oh boy, what do you have?
I have paperwork from these vehicles with full
this is the
FBI
shit
first,
that car
last
crashed.
names,
Oh,
phone
boy.
numbers, emails, addresses.
Oh wow.
It has
Let me
how
see.
they
Let's see.
it has where they take.
Hold it open. So this is the. Okay.
Just the flashlight person.
Oh wow. Oh wow, there's their number. Their call sign 920 Op Center. Let me go like this.
Tell me when to
Okay,
twist
go
it.
ahead, flip it.
Dude, these people are so fucking cooked, man. That, like, oh my God. It's so crazy. It's so crazy, bro. Like,
Okay, POC. Oh my god.
Yeah, they got
The whole thing. This is the main.
I told you.
Wait, this is the.
These were the vehicles.
Yeah, that's
These
their
were the vehicles that were here for the shooting. Too many protesters came up. They couldn't move their vehicles. They fled on foot. These are the officers involved. They left all of this behind.
If this guy does not go to jail,
I don't want to hear a single fucking word about January 6th from any of these people ever again. Ever again. I don't want to hear a single fucking word from any of them ever again.
if this YouTuber here does not go to jail, I don't know what to say. Like, this is the most blatant example of doxing of federal agents, a federal crime. All he had to do was say, hey, that's crazy. Anyway, I'm going this way. Hey, that's crazy. I don't want to look at it. Hey, that's crazy. Wow, you got the paperwork? I don't want to broadcast that on my live show. Nope. He says, all right, flip the page. Okay. Great. Okay, flip the page.
This is where they take the transports of their immigration targets. They're calling people targets now.
They're calling them targets?
This is transport of
They've always been targets.
Yep, I see it at the top. I see it at the top.
When you have a warrant out for your arrest, you are a target. You are a target for law enforcement. That's just a fact.
They take them.
Screenshot everything, chat. Screenshot this. You got to screenshot.
Screenshot everything.
Everything, everybody. Wow.
All right, you can go ahead, Flip.
This motherfucker's going to prison, dude.
This is maps.
What up, Rude? Good to see you, man. Welcome in. Welcome in. Do I see it as the same as January 6th? I mean, yeah, like it's people storming federal agents. The only difference is they're stealing from them. That didn't happen on January 6th. They're stealing guns. They're stealing paperwork and doxing the agents that were out there. None of that happened on January 6th. They're destroying federal property. That happened on January 6th. Sure, I can admit that. My question is, how do you see it as not? Because, like, Washington, D.C. politicians are better than regular people. If that's what you actually believe, I agree to disagree. But, like, they're not better than regular people to me.
To where they're staying or they're taking people. Again, full names, emails, phone numbers.
Mm-hmm.
This is their.
This was.
Yeah,
Hold on.
yeah, you got more.
Uh-huh.
As you should.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
I had my hunting knife with me because I didn't know what the fuck was gonna happen. It's all like phone numbers.
Did they steal important documents and then share them with the public, Rude? Did they tell people where all the people that work in Congress at the Capitol live? Did they share their phone numbers? Did they share their email addresses? Personal? That were actively being hidden? Did they reveal things that were not revealed to the public that day? I mean, come on, dude. Like,
What is this now?
Information for FD 936, request for national DNA database. This is the information they're taking from people when they.
and now, just like on January 6th, what should have happened then, the government is going to be unleashing the fucking military on these people. And they deserve it. They deserve every second of it. And they're going to cry and piss and moan. And you know what? No one's going to give a fuck. Because none of this shit should have happened. This is what led up to it. If this happens and then martial law happens, this is a big fucking deal.
Kidnap you. This is what they fill out on their booking form.
This is absolutely insane. This guy has got to be arrested.
100%.
This guy specifically has got to be arrested. Now, in response, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey came out and issued a statement. Thank God. We need to know what he's got to say about this.
Meanwhile, we have ICE agents throughout our city and throughout our state who, along with Border Control, are creating chaos.
Oh, okay. Wow, I was getting confused. Okay, so it's actually the ICE agents and the CBP officers who are creating chaos. Just to be clear, it is not these guys. It's not these
One sec, I'll be right back.
hoodlums who are breaking into federal law enforcement vehicles. It's not these guys. No, it's the ICE agents and the CBP officers who are causing chaos. Now, Secretary of DHS Kristi Noem came out yesterday and issued this morning and issued a statement.
Because if you look at the mainstream press, they're helping them. They're misportraying the situation on the ground. We had an officer last night viciously attacked with weapons, 3-on-1, where his life was in danger, and he defended himself. And you see a lot of news reports out there that it was another ICE shooting. They didn't report anything about the weapons or the fact that these individuals came out of a home to beat him mercilessly with a shovel, and that he had to protect his own life and his colleagues that were soon coming to back him up. So absolutely, I think that this is a distraction for him. We're not going to let that happen. We're going to continue to talk about the fraud and the stealing from the American taxpayers that he has allowed to have happen in Minneapolis. It is the largest fraudulent scheme in American history, we believe. Mm-hmm. It's in Minnesota. We're going to get to the bottom of it and bring people to justice, even the elected officials that allowed it to happen.
And now, it is.
Oh, and by the way, we're going to go over that here in just a second.
It is bigger than the fraud. Now it's all of these far left agitators that need to be arrested also. If you rewind 3 weeks ago, it might have just been these fraudulent immigrants, these immigrants engaging in tax fraud, welfare fraud. That was the focus. Now It is that is the problem. Crack down on that, but also it's all of these far left agitators. Now, you're not going to believe this. About 90 minutes before last night's Minneapolis riots kicked off, Governor Tim Walz issued a statement. Keep in mind, the timing here is very important. About 90 minutes before the riots kicked off last night in Minneapolis, Tim Walz, he came out and he issued this statement to the public. Listen up.
Federal government is raining down upon our communities. 2,000 to 3,000 armed agents of the federal government have been deployed to Minnesota. Armed, masked, undertrained.
Look how fucking terrified he looks. And he should be, by the way. He knows he's about to go to fucking prison. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. He could have avoided all this shit, dude. He could have avoided every bit of it.
ICE agents are going door to door, ordering people to point out where their neighbors of color live.
So when you talk about rhetoric that is inciting this type of behavior, rhetoric that is inciting an insurrection, creating an insurrection, seditious behavior, this is a governor. This guy is a governor. He's not a random nobody. He's in charge of the state. He's saying that his state has been invaded by federal law enforcement officers. They're going door to door saying, hey there, do you have any brown or black people in the neighborhood that we can arrest? Hey there, ICE officer here. Have you seen any brown or black people? Because we are in the business of snatching up brown and black people.
Funny how nobody has videos of that, right? They have videos of them harassing these people, following them around, blocking traffic, blowing air horns and whistles into their face, assaulting them. They have videos of all that. They don't have videos of this, though, right? He won't talk about how people are attacking these fucking agents in the streets. He won't talk about that, but he'll bring this up, right? Because apparently this is somehow the real like threat to order and peace in a community.
Indiscriminately. If they're brown, they're going down. This is the rhetoric coming from the far left that is getting all of these freaks out here agitated on the streets, causing this insurrection. And by the way, he is saying stuff like this deliberately, intentionally. This is what he wants. He is trying to create an insurrection. And you know what? He might have created one here. More footage from last night.
See, like, you can tell these people are low IQ. What up, Scott Hotvet? Good to see you, man. By the way, Casey Durkee, welcome. Glad to have you in. Mr. Always good to see you. No, see, so here's the deal with these folks, right? So they're out here destroying these laptops. That's like peanuts compared to the damage that, like, you would be much better off getting into the laptops and getting the information out of them than destroying them. It's crazy, bro.
Just vehicle after vehicle. I don't even know, dozens of federal law enforcement vehicles were smashed open, ripped apart, raided, looted, pillaged. People are walking off with rifles, like FBI firearms, badges, documentation, credentials, patches, all of it. In fact, these people are very clearly violent. I wanted to show you this picture here. Look at this. Of course, it says F ICE on the back, but what's this over here on the left? It says, on the far left, it says, only good agent is a dead one. Only good agent is a dead one. This also says, hang something. Hang ICE? Hang ICE?
Hang Christy.
F-ICE, hang ICE. Only good agent is a dead one. This is the type of rhetoric that we are witnessing right now, folks. Now, late last night, in response to this, Attorney General Pam Bondi actually deployed, they needed backup. Pam Bondi deployed federal prison guards in riot gear. They were working at the local prison. She said, listen, prison guards, put on the riot gear. We need you on the streets tonight. And so we got that. That's what we saw. Zoom in here. These are federal prison guards from the local federal prison. Just to provide some backup. And thank God they...
See, okay, so here's the difference, right? And people talk about fascism and all this other bullshit. If these people were actually fascists, they would have opened fire on these crowds, put them down, and wouldn't let these people stand in their face and talk shit to them, right? I'm not saying they should be doing that. What I'm saying is this is not fucking fascism, bro. This is not fascism. Like, all the people who say that, they live a comfortable, like, cushioned life, and they have no idea what real oppression looks like. And you can look at numerous examples in other countries right now where actual oppression is going on. One of them being Iran. There's people who are protesting the government there. They are lining the streets with fucking full body bags. Okay? That's oppression. That's fascism. These people are doing the job they were set out to do, and then now they're being fucking chased off by these people who are assaulting them with weapons now. They are destroying their vehicles, stealing shit from federal agents. You're out of your fucking mind, bro.
They rolled up. And, you know, listen, these guys are working at a federal prison. You know that they are used to dealing with some pretty crazy people. Absolutely insane. So we had the federal prison guards out there late last night. Now, as it relates to all of this, actually, incidentally, this morning, before we talk about the Insurrection Act here, and we will, and there is a lot to talk about, President Trump is laying down the hammer here. But first, there's something I want to share with you folks, some good news. A court has just sided with Trump. ICE can continue surging operations in Minnesota, a brutal loss for Tim Walz and Mayor Jacob Frey. They tried to take this to court to kick out President Trump. Well, the court has already very quickly, just in, I believe it was less than a week, sided with Trump. Take a look at this. Trump himself, this morning, he posts on Truth Social. A highly respected judge declined to block ICE operations in the very politically corrupt state of Minnesota. ICE will therefore be allowed to continue its highly successful operation of removing some of the most violent and vicious criminals anywhere in the world, many of them murderers from the state. The great patriots of law enforcement will continue to make our country safe. Record low numbers. So listen, they tried to engage in lawfare again to shut down President Trump and his ongoing deportation efforts. Well, the court said, actually, listen, it is totally lawful what Trump is doing here. Now, Kristi Noem earlier this morning shared that she recently had a phone call on the phone with Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Let's hear what they spoke about. Take a listen.
When was the last time you called the governor, Governor Walz?
Oh, I talked to him just a couple of days ago.
And what did he say when you told him to chill out?
I said, Tim and I served together in Congress. We both ran for governor at the same time. We have very different ways of governing. Our state in South Dakota was extremely successful and grew economically and safety. He drove it into the ditch. And it has been an absolute disaster. He let it burn down in 2020 and then asked surrounding governors to send our National Guard to help him because he waited too long to make any decisions to bring peace. I'm worried that he's doing the same thing.
I understand that history, but when you approached him on the phone and made your appeal, what did he say?
I said, sir, listen, Tim, you know the situation, what's going on. We are enforcing federal law. If you don't like the laws, go change them, but don't do it by giving place to these protesters and rioters that are perpetuating violence. And I said, you have my personal cell phone. You call me. If you need me, you call me. We will be there to help back you up, but protect your city, protect your state. And he paused for a few seconds, and he just said, yeah, okay.
What up, U.S. Army Cav? Good to see you, man.
We have very different viewpoints of what's going on. I said, maybe we do, but we will be here if you need us because that's our goal every day is to keep people safe.
So yesterday,
you can't negotiate with this guy. You cannot negotiate with Tim Walz. You're not going to talk sense into this guy. He just needs to be stopped.
Yeah.
He needs to be stopped. You're not going to reason with him. You're not going to have a conversation with Tim Walz and say, hey, Tim Walz, this is actually why it is a good thing that we are flooding ICE agents into your
He needs to go to jail. There's only one reason he wants to stop this shit. And we're going to go over that here in just a second.
city. No, you're never gonna bridge that gap here, because Tim Walz, he believes that this country should not have borders. He believes that every delinquent third world immigrant from all over the world should be allowed into the country.
He changed the state flag to represent Somaliland. Give me a fucking break.
He believes that ICE officers are violent threats to his state. He believes in his twisted psychotic brain that his state is at war with the federal government. He has said as much 3 times. This guy is a seditious, traitorous lunatic. All of this is happening by his design. He wants this to happen. He is telling the rioters and the protesters to get out in the streets. You can't reason with a madman, and that is exactly what he is. Ladies and gentlemen, President Trump finally seems to be crossing the Rubicon, so to speak. And what I mean by that is that after weeks of seditious rhetoric coming from Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, President Trump is finally ready to invoke the Insurrection Act. Now, which of course would allow him to use the U.S. military to squash all of this far-left violence, anarchy, and chaos that has been unfolding on the streets of Minneapolis. To give you an idea of what type of anarchic chaos and mayhem we have seen, take a look at what happened last night. These are pictures from North Minneapolis, where riots broke out last night, less than 24 hours ago. Violence F ICE. The only good ICE agent is a dead.
So the second half of this is basically, he later went on to put out this video right here, which is just what we're watching here. So he records his videos live while he does the live broadcast. Yeah. So anyway, all that being said, want to understand why this is going on, guys? Well, Nick Shirley just put out a new video yesterday. It's got 1 million views on YouTube. He is, Nick, that woman outside the Leering Center, was Fardowsi Ali. She's the owner of the building and the restaurant. The mother of the guy that is friends with Mayor Fry. I'm pretty sure she secretly owns the Leering Center. She lives in a literal mansion. She's not only owns the building, she's the sole owner of the property management company, whose headquarters is her enormous home. I have a lot more research if you're interested in hearing more. Yeah, so, boys, I don't know if you guys have seen this yet. It's about an hour long, right? This is worse than the first video. This is more egregious. See, in the first video, they had the out of like, why would these child care centers not allow some person to come in and, or why would these child care centers allow some person to come in and like see kids and shit? What up, Joseph Romano? Good to see you, man. They're not going to have an out on this one, and you'll see why.
I'm asking No. You don't ask me nothing. $2.25 million.
Get out. Are we the only community that does fraud?
How come they said this building was closed? Do you guys know where Advanced Mobility is? Advanced Mobility? Yeah, we're looking for it. Never heard of it?
They know we're shining the light on the fraud, and they have no defense.
Would you like to see anybody in the government here held accountable?
Most definitely, because there can definitely be an allocation of funds.
The Minnesota fraud scandal continues to get worse and worse as billions of dollars of fraud has been exposed, and as I showed the world the blatant fraud taking place at daycares and other locations across Minnesota, it became the most viewed video expose on the internet and created instant change within the government as the Fed sent thousands of federal agents to Minnesota, and the HHS froze over $185 million in all payments to childcare. And while politicians like Tim Walz call people like me white supremacists and far-right delusional conspiracy theorists for exposing the fraud, meanwhile, he actually dropped out of running for re-election. Yeah. The Minnesota fraud scandal has erupted the nation as protests and riots took place, all starting because daycares like Quality Leering Center were exposed. However, the daycares is only a small portion of the fraud taking place in Minnesota. In this video, I will take you into what has continued to allow this fraud to happen and connect all of the dots for you, exposing all of the fraud from strange connections of the business owners
all good, Scott,
and the
no
politicians
sweat,
who have openly admitted to the fraud on live TV. And to dive deep into the fraud, I met back up with the local David, who has been investigating this widespread fraud scandal for years. So here in Minnesota, you have daycare fraud, you have adult daycare fraud, you have healthcare fraud, and you even have more fraud. What's some of the fraud that's also taking place here inside of Minnesota?
Well, what I think might be sort of the heart of the beast here is this transportation fraud. And what I mean by that is in Minnesota, we have something called non-emergency medical transportation, NEMT. My research has shown that there are about 1,020 such companies in Minnesota, and more than 90% of them are Somali-owned.
And so right here on the table, what do we have? All this information right here.
So I have a number of companies that are local here in the Twin Cities, and this is just a fraction of the companies that are out there. What I found was that the national average for a non-emergency medical transportation company is 20 vehicles per company. A lot of these companies, their address is an apartment, some are in a house, some are in a convenience store, some of them in a vacant building. There's no signage, there's nobody there.
And so why would there be such a need for all these transportation companies here inside of Minnesota?
So if you think of this transportation as the hub of the wheel.
So real quick, before we finish getting into this, a lot of this shit went down during COVID here in the restaurants. So, and like I more than likely other places, but I know for a fact it went down in the restaurants. I'm not even going to drop their name. But there's one restaurant group around here that had like 200 some odd employees, and they got the PPP loans because they were paying for half of our insurance when we worked for them, right? So what ended up happening was they got, for their entire restaurant group, over $3 million in PPP loans, and then they fired like 200 people. It was insane, dude. Absolutely ridiculous. That's just one example. So this stuff happens all the time with all sorts of different people. No, they weren't Somalis, but like this stuff happens all the time with all sorts of different people. This is just what's in the news right now.
So child care is a spoke, adult daycare is a spoke, autism is a spoke, the interpreter services, which we can get into, that's another spoke. It all ties back to transportation. Why? Because those meals someone had to deliver those meals. Someone has to deliver the kid to autism, or say they did. So it all revolves around the transportation. And so when you're looking at this, you say, okay, well, let's just...
Yeah, I bet they have U.S. Army Cav. Yeah. Can I just call you Cav? What would you like? Let's call you Cav. But, yeah, dude, like, of course. That's the thing. Whenever you get government funds involved in something, especially from an over-bloated government like they have in Minnesota or like any of these other states with a bloated government, you're going to have less efficiency in keeping tabs on where all this money's going. I know that sounds ass backwards, where the more people you have, the less efficient the government is. That's just how it goes. The more people that work in a government, the less efficient it is.
Be conservative. Let's go on the low side. Let's say there are only 800 Somali-owned non-emergency medical transportation companies in Minnesota. Well, again, the average is 20 vehicles per company. So that's 800 times 20. And the way these NEMT companies are paid is if they bring someone to a doctor's appointment, whatever the case might be, or Costco or wherever they're going, because remember, it's non-emergency medical transportation. Well, we went to Costco because they have to eat or they'll die. So that's considered, right? So it's almost impossible to figure out from the outside what exactly the payments are for each of these trips. But I have a pretty good idea. So when someone provides a transportation to a facility or a location, they're also paid for the time to sit there and wait for the appointment to end and then drive the person back. So they're paid 3 different ways. And the average is going to be $50 per trip. So it's going to the appointment as a trip, coming back trip. So that's $100 per round trip. So if you have 800 companies in Minnesota that are NEMT companies, they all own 20 vehicles, and they're all making 10 trips a day, and it's $50 per trip. So it's 800 times 20 times 10 trips times $50 a trip. Do the math. And the reality is, how many of these trips are being provided? Zero. They don't have to provide any. Why? Because when they are paid by the state of Minnesota, these companies go online and they fill out a form, and it just says, okay, how many trips, how many miles. They submit that electronically to the state, and boom, they get paid. Nobody bothers to check. They don't call the dentist. Did this kid show up? They don't do anything. As soon as that form is filed with the state of Minnesota, that payment goes out immediately.
Yeah, but you can. So Darwin, like the difference is, right? There are electronic logs for like tanker trucks, like semis, but there are not electronic logs for these kinds of things. So you can write down whatever the fuck, and then at the end of the month, you bill the government just shoots you a check. That's how it goes.
And so essentially, these transportation companies are what hold all of the fraud together, because you have the daycare centers working with the transportation companies, the adult daycare centers working with the transportation companies, the healthcare companies working with the transportation companies. So it's just another way to bill and to also make it look like something's happening here inside of Minnesota.
This is the belly of the beast. All of this fraud revolves around these transportation companies. All of it. This touches every part of fraud here in Minnesota.
And today we're going to go confront these people. We confronted them last time. There was no kids in any of the child care centers. And today, what do you expect to see?
I think we're going to see some vehicles because, when I drive around the cities here.
What up, Chuck? Good to see you, man. Welcome in, dude.
I see these Somalis driving, and mostly it's like a Plymouth Caravan or whatever. And there's never, ever, ever been a passenger. And in 7 years, I've never seen a passenger in any of these vehicles.
Shocking.
I've followed some of them. They're going to Costco. They're going to Sam's Club. They're going to Walmart. The driver gets out, goes in there, loads up a shopping cart, comes in, puts it in the van, and off they go back to where they live.
And now we're going to go out and see what's happening with these transportation companies.
And here's the other thing. Tim Walz and the Department of Human Service, you threw the people of Minnesota under the bus. Shame on you, and I'm coming for you.
You heard it here first, David. All right, let's go.
Hell yeah!
So where's the first location we're going to?
The first location is a company called Safari Transportation, Cedar Avenue South in Minneapolis.
And so what makes Safari Transportation Company an interesting transportation company?
Well,
allegedly fraudulent.
Well, the thing about Safari is that they've been registered since 2015 with the state of Minnesota as operating vehicles. And again, the national average for a non-emergency medical transportation company is 20 vehicles. So if they've got 20 vehicles and they're at 607 Cedar Avenue, I have no idea where there's parking them because there is no parking anywhere near this office.
We've arrived to the transportation company. We're outside, and right there we have a Loving Arms adult daycare. All the windows are completely boarded out right there, and there's supposed to be a transportation company registered right here. It's 617, but it's a liquor store. Okay, so the location here is 607 and also 617. These are two transportation companies. We're on a main road right now, and this is 607. And it is not a transportation company. It's actually a money transfer, but it's registered here, 607.
Oh, it's a money transferring place. How fucking crazy is that? Isn't that wild?
This does not look like Safari Transportation. Where is the transportation company?
I don't see any signs denoting that there's any transportation. It's all just looks like money wiring. But if you look at the Secretary of State's office, state of Minnesota, Safari Transportation, 607 Cedar Avenue, and it's been registered here since 2015. That was the original filing.
So let's see if we have the manager. Let's see if we can find FOD. Hello. How are you? We're looking for the transportation company.
Safari Transportation?
Looking for Safari Transportation?
No, there's no Safari Transportation here.
No Safari Transportation?
Safari Transportation, 607 Cedar Avenue.
We're just looking for Safari Transportation.
We don't know.
So, but this is registered for Safari Transportation, 607.
That's the address.
Okay, we don't know.
We're asking where Safari Transportation is.
We don't know.
Okay, so the business is not here.
Yeah, they're transporting your money to their relatives. That's good shit, Joe.
Fuad Omar?
Fuad Omar?
We don't know. This, do you see this? What is this?
Money transferring.
That's it.
Okay,
Well, this
registered.
is from the state.
This is fraud taking place. This is supposed to say, this is for Safari Transportation.
Go find out.
Yeah, we did find out. This is fraud right here.
Registered here
This is
since
registered.
2015.
2015?
Safari Transportation, state of Minnesota.
2015, well, oh yeah.
Well, but it's registered now. This is current, just off the state of Minnesota website today.
Sir,
Please.
This is from today. I just printed this off today. Fuad Omar.
We don't know.
We're here.
We-
This
we
is
don't know.
607. Where's Safari Transportation?
Okay, it's no Safari.
We
here.
don't know.
Okay, so it's a fraudulent business.
Did you see Safari anything here?
Exactly.
Did you see?
Exactly. It's
Did
not
you
here.
see it?
It's a fraud.
Did you see, sir?
Okay, thank you. We're gonna go to the next
Okay.
address. All right, let's keep moving on. So 607, this is supposed to be Safari
What
Transportation.
up, Jared? Good to see you, man.
Transportation company. And now we're going to 617, another transportation company. However, it is actually Cedar Riverside Liquor. Where is the transportation company?
617.
617 right
Dreamline
here.
Transportation for the state of Minnesota is registered to 617 Cedar Avenue South.
And it's a liquor store. David, they aren't even trying to hide that these
Yeah.
are transportation companies. Where are the vans at?
Should we ask?
Let's go ask.
Hey, we're looking for Dreamline Transportation.
Oh yeah, 100%, dude. Yeah.
Now we're in 617, Dreamline Transportation.
No.
Where is the transportation company?
No, we don't have this
You
one.
ever heard of Safari Transportation?
Safari, I know Safari, that many wiring.
How funny is that? How funny is that, dude? How fucking crazy is that? See, I don't think this guy's involved in any kind of bullshit. I think he's just someone who came here and opened up her liquor store because he's like, oh yeah, I know them. They're right down there, 607.
607.
The money wiring.
Yeah.
Okay, that's money wiring.
Yeah.
We're looking for Safari
Maybe
Transportation.
there. 607.
They said they never heard of it.
I never did. Safari company, the many wiring, they send money there. That's the 607.
So Safari gets the money and then they wire it out.
It's so bad, dude. It's so fucking bad, dude.
Yeah, the many.
That man just said that Safari is actually a money wiring company, so therefore they're receiving money and then wiring it somewhere underneath the name of a transportation
So
company.
we said to go here.
Suite A right here. And then you have 617A right here, but this is reliable services, immigration, travel, and tax. I do not see a transportation company anywhere.
Good morning. Hey, we're hoping to find Dreamline Transportation. You ever heard of it?
I've never heard of it. Ask next door.
He said to ask here. That you would know.
Ask next door. This is a mailbox. It's not a real call.
It's a mailbox.
Dreamline Transportation could be nothing more than a mailbox.
Very interesting.
834.
So it could be one of these mailboxes. Well,
Okay, see you later.
607 Safari Transportation doesn't exist. It's actually a money wiring business. 617 Dreamline, inside of there, it's actually a liquor store. And then 617A is a place where there's a bunch of mailboxes and it says reliable.
See, so that says 617 Suite A, and there were a bunch of numbered mailboxes in there. So all of that is going to the 34 mailbox. Like, if law enforcement saw this ahead of time, they should have gone there fucking immediately or scoped it out. Because, like, they literally just caught where the money for that business is going.
ITT Services. How are you doing, man?
I just want to ask you,
Yes, sir.
why are you sensationalizing the propaganda?
See, what's so funny is, so he's going to come up and he's going to go with this, but they literally just proved that there's fraud going on at what was the fucking Safari place, and then they proved that the other address is fraudulent as well.
What are we sensationalizing?
To attack our community. What's your final objective?
We're not attacking your community by any means.
Are you making good money from this?
We're looking for fraud.
No, I'm
for
not.
instance, can you answer our question? Where's Safari Transportation Company 607? It's not there. And why don't you answer?
How much money are
Why don't you
you
answer the
How much
question,
money
where's
are you
617
making?
Dreamline Security?
How much money are you making?
I make money
this?
off of YouTube. That's how I make my money.
Exactly. So you're making money off of sensationalizing.
That my job
and attacking
is.
the Somali community.
I'm not attacking you guys. We're asking.
I'll tell you the
fraud
reason
is
why
fraud,
this is
sir.
happening. All right. Let me tell you the reason.
Hey, stop doing this. Stop doing this. I'm going to throw dirt on what you believe and what you're exposing right now, but you need to stop doing this because you're a racist. That's what he's saying.
Fraud is fraud, correct?
Yes.
Has nothing to do with race. This is fraud.
This
fraud.
absolutely has to do with us being Muslim.
No, it does not.
All right, and us being from Africa.
And no one's even said either of those things. So, source, I made it up.
This is a constitutional argument. If you don't want us here, change the freedom of religion. Say, listen, we don't want Muslims in this country anymore.
Hey, dude, you can be here. You can stay here as long as you're here legally and you're not committing fucking crimes. That's it. See, he's got to muddy the water with all sorts of, like, pussy-ass bullshit rhetoric when instead, none of this has to do with Muslims. None of this has to do with Somalians. All it has to do with is fraud. Just so happens the shoe fits with the Muslim Somali community.
We're not saying that.
No.
We're not saying that.
When I go
Sir,
onto
we're
your
talking
comments,
about fraud. When
I go onto your comments,
my comments.
What I
aren't
see
me.
is people that say we do not want Muslims here. Kick every single Muslim in Minnesota out of Minnesota.
That's a comment.
You are listen. You're preparing for the Somali community to maybe be taken to concentration camps.
Oh my God! See, this is such pussy bullshit. This is such pussy bullshit, man.
All right, you're sensationalizing.
No, we're not.
All right,
Sir,
something that
answer
can
the
listen.
question. Where is the transportation
something
vehicle
that can
company?
jeopardize
Answer the question.
The safety and the protection of the Somali community.
This is fraud. We're talking about fraud,
If anything
sir.
happens to the Somali
We're talking
community,
about fraud.
listen, I'm not doing anything. I'm not physically touching.
You're getting very close.
I'm not physically touching. No, I'm not physically touching you.
This is fraud. We're talking about fraud.
You're
defending fraud.
When I go into your comments,
you're defending fraud.
People who hate Muslims
Okay,
want us out of here.
People can say
for
what they
being
want.
Muslim,
I'm not censoring anybody.
Are using your material. Islamophobes use your material. People who hate Islam use your material.
So you should want the people in that country to stop committing fucking fraud so they don't have any material to use. It's that easy. You should be on his side, you fucking retard. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. I just don't get it.
Say to us, we don't want you here. Okay. Change the Constitution. Okay. But guess what? Let me tell you something. Guess what?
Say it. We're asking about fraud. We're asking about fraud.
You hate Muslims.
I'm not saying I hate Muslims. We're talking about fraud.
Muslims.
We're talking about fraud.
Why are you attacking us?
This
are we
is
the
fraud.
only community that suffers because of fraud?
We're talking about fraud.
Are we the only community that does fraud? Are we the only community that does this?
This is about fraud.
All right, but there's what, 300 Somali providers in all of Minnesota?
There's actually 800.
Don't touch me.
Keep talking. Don't go
so,
you speak English? Your security doesn't even speak English. Listen, let me tell you something.
See, this isn't a race issue, sir.
See, hey, totally bodied him. See, it's not a race issue. He doesn't even speak English. He goes, blah, 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 blah. Fucking mushmouth ass chimpanzee, dude. That's what's going on, bro. That may sound very racist that I just said that, but it's just the fucking truth. Low IQ bullshit trying to throw bullshit onto someone else. That's all it is.
This is about fraud.
We have, what, 1,000 providers?
Yeah, you guys have a...
Even it's 2,000 providers. Okay, you want to sacrifice the safety of 80,000 people because of fucking 2,000 providers? Are you fucking mad? Are you stupid?
I'm not stupid. You're stupid. Where's the transportation company?
What about if a mass shooting happens in Minnesota? It will be because of you. It will be because of you. If any Somali gets hurt in Minnesota, it's because of Nick Shirley. This is
about fraud.
One single Somali gets hurt.
This is about fraud,
it's
sir.
Because of you. Sensationalizes. You son of a bitch. Sensationalizes.
Wow, you're very nice.
Out of our neighborhood.
Very nice.
Get the out of our neighborhood.
Sir, can you tell me where the transportation company is?
Out of our neighborhood. We don't want you here. Get the out of here.
Calm down, sir.
See, why is the security letting him do that? I would have put his fat ass onto his head by now. That's crazy.
Get out of here.
Sir,
because it gets to a point where that's harassment. That's what I have my security for.
You want to sensationalize? You want clicks?
You're sensationalizing yourself, sir.
You wanted clicks?
You're sensationalizing yourself.
You wanted clicks? You wanted the YouTube?
Tell me where the transportation vehicle is.
Clicks? You got YouTube clicks. Now get the out of our community.
Tell me where the transportation
vehicle is. Out of our community.
Tell me.
But just a little heads up, guys. he's not going to get out of the community.
This is about fraud. Say I don't want Muslims. This is about fraud. Say I don't want Muslims here. Say it. Say I want to change the Constitution. No, I don't want to change the Constitution. Freedom of religion, and I don't want Muslim Somalis in Minnesota. Kick them out. I was born in this country. You have to take the passport away from me. Relax. That is what you are arguing for.
We're not talking.
Dude, he's like fucking foaming at the mouth. These people are insane. Right, Never Lucky, exactly. Get the fuck out of America. Yeah.
This is about fraud.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Get the fuck out of our community.
This is about fraud.
Get the fuck out of our community. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Stupid fucking idiot.
Tell me where the transportation company is then.
Get the fuck out of here.
Obviously for this video we had to get security because look at this now. Alright, we're going. We're going. But there is no transportation company in there. Fraud. There were no transportation companies.
No, none.
This isn't about race. This isn't against religion. This is about fraud. We're fighting fraud here. We're not fighting a race.
Well, and this is what happens when you...
You know, honestly, like, I think it's kind of an L to even, like, buy into that and have to explain that it's not about that. Because any reasonable person who's watching this realizes none of this has anything to do with Muslims or Somali. Like the actual meat of what he's trying to find, it has nothing to do with Muslims or Somalians. And the only reason they're trying to frame it as that is because they know this is all going on. They know that people are profiting immensely. That dude was wearing really, really nice clothes, okay? He might even be connected to it. I'm not going to say that he is, but, like, it's not impossible. So the only reason this is being framed that way is because Somalian people don't want this out there. And they're fucked now. Now, you're not even, if you're on federal, like, assistance, you're not allowed to wire money out of the country. Yeah, Never Lucky. I mean, like, you know, I wish it was legal, honestly. Yeah, Charles. Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, the Insurrection Act is coming. After what happened in Minneapolis last night, get fucked, bro. Get fucked.
You put a spotlight on fraud, the people who are benefiting become extremely violent, and the Somalis are the most violent people I have ever met in my whole life.
Because he couldn't answer the question. Where was the transportation company?
He wouldn't answer the question. All he did was make it about race and then issue threats.
Neither business was there or operating, and giving a very conservative estimate based off of David's numbers and other numbers online, it's fair to say each business is operating with an average of 20 vehicles and with a much lower and generous rate of $25 per trip. And with 10 alleged trips a day, each business is pulling an estimate of $1.3 million in gross revenue. And with those two locations alone, there's over $2.6 million in estimated fraud. All right, we're going to the next location.
What's interesting, Nick, is that one of the places we just visited, the 617 Cedar Avenue South, that's for Dreamline Transportation. That's the address listed with the state of Minnesota. But the place that we're going right now is going to have vans that say Dreamline Transportation on them, but they haven't moved in months and months. You'll see they're covered with snow. There will be no tire tracks. And so why are they using this address? And all that was in there was a liquor store. And he told us to talk to the guy next door, and those were all just mailboxes. And then the guy next door said, go talk to him. I said, we just talked to him. Obviously, the cover-up, and you see how they all stick together, and it's all this intimidation, and thank God we had the security we did there, because that would have been bad.
Now we're outside of this transportation vehicle company right here.
Yeah, and so you can see these are the vans that say Dreamline. You can see the sticker on the window and the numbers on the rear. None of these vehicles have moved in 8 months. I've been taking timestamp photos.
What up, Robert Whaley? Good to see you, man. Yeah, 100%. Me too, man. Yeah, when they got here, they loved the country. They wanted to, what's the word I'm looking for? They wanted to integrate into society. Like, they wanted to be part of this thing. And now these fucking scumbags come here and they rip off the taxpayers. And then these politicians, I will say allegedly, but man, do I not want to. These politicians make money off of it. It's that simple.
Date stamp photos. All these vehicles are in the exact same spot they were 8 months ago. And look, there's no tire tracks, so they haven't moved.
and this van as well. This is Dreamline. Dreamline was the location where we got chased out from the Somalis on 6
They're not even at the right location.
17-seater, and this is a vehicle from Dreamline that actually didn't even exist. It was a liquor store, and now it's here, and the vans haven't moved at all. Literally, no vans and no tire tracks anywhere. If these vans are being used to transport people, whether it be healthcare, childcare, there would be snow tracks. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 vehicles here. No snow tracks anywhere. These vehicles are not being used, and these transportation companies are making lots of money. Meanwhile, there's actually nothing to show for. Here's all of the vehicles right here. And the vehicles that are coming in and out, like this Toyota, it does not have anything to do with transportation company because there's no stickers on it and there's snow tracks. But the vehicles that are supposed to be used for transportation are literally locked in. Snow is building icicles. No one's even came out to remove the snow off the window. These transportation vehicles are not moving. And then
right, yeah,
David
exactly.
Has more
Kev.
paperwork for silver.
It's so egregious, lazy, and like absolutely ridiculous that it's almost kind of funny.
Mountain, and there's 3 different companies.
Right, Robert Whaley, exactly.
In the same address.
Yeah.
So when we talk about how all these companies are intertwined, this is a perfect example of that.
And this is why these transportation companies are so essential to the fraud in Minnesota, because they allow the fraud to be supported, as the majority of the fraud is from welfare programs like daycares, autism centers, and adult daycares, and healthcare services. They need to leave a paper trail to make it look like something is happening. Therefore, they use these transportation companies to create that paper trail by saying they are moving people from an adult daycare to a healthcare provider, for example, but they actually never provide the service at the healthcare provider. But that paper trail allows them to continue to build the
Yeah, I mean, like in my opinion, the only way to exact this is to have some form of tracker on the vehicles moving forward, and to have like cameras inserted into the car, so that way all of this can be monitored, right? Like if there's actually companies that are actually doing what they say that they're doing, those are going to have to be the regulations put on these companies from now on. Otherwise, you don't get any money. Easy. Here, I'll keep playing this. I'm going to go grab some more water. I'll be right back.
State for the money, and everyone gets paid. That's why this fraud is so deep and hard to dismantle, because quite literally everyone is involved.
And it's all because the state of Minnesota never checks.
All right, so this is actually the location for Silver Mountain Inc., LLC, and Co. Let's see if any... Yes, we're wondering where Silver Mountain...
Silver Mountain?
Silver Mountain.
Oh, I don't know that. Where it is.
It says 2722 Park Avenue.
Where is
Silver Mountain here?
Silver Mountain. You don't have a permission to do that.
Okay,
You
so
were
Silver
ju-
Mountain does not exist.
You were
No, the name, the name's not, the name's not Silver Mountain, it's just Silver Mountain
Don't ask
Home
me
Healthcare.
that. When you come,
All right,
So
sir.
Silver
Well,
Mountain-
so
This
Silver,
is not a way.
so
that's
Silver
not the
Mountain
way
does
to
not
make a
exist.
business. You're making a
2722
business.
Park
You have
Avenue.
millions of people watching you.
Silver
You're making
Mountain.
business to
Okay,
600
sir.
people.
2720.
You have millions of people watching right
Yes.
now. Where is Silver Mountain
I don't
Home
know where
Healthcare?
Silver Mountain is.
Okay, well that's what we're
But
looking for. All right, we're
me
moving on.
sitting there-
So Silver Mountain does not exist. David, we're just simply asking for where is Silver Mountain Home
I can't
Healthcare?
find any of these companies. I mean, this is shocking. 3 companies are supposed to be in that building, and he's never heard of them. He doesn't know anything about them.
And look, so they don't exist there. Right there, Somali Senior Center and Adult Day Services, a daycare right there. All of these welfare companies are in the same location, but their businesses, that business didn't even exist.
It's all fraud, all of it.
So right there is a transportation company.
That's the real question, Never Lucky. Why the fuck are they all immigrants? You're exposing fraud on businesses that they're just pulling off of a thing. They can't tell if they're Somali or not when they pull out these different businesses. That's just who's doing the fucking fraud there.
No passenger, just a driver. How
Yep.
come you think when it comes time to take accountability for what's happening, or just to answer simple questions about the fraud, they can't answer?
Well, I think their reaction tells you all you need to know. The reaction is so violent that if there was no fraud going on, they would say, what are you talking about? They would have a civil conversation.
Yeah.
But they can't, because they know we're shining the light on the fraud and they have no defense. So in their mind, being loud and using profanity is their only defense.
And because I'm trying to give them the opportunity to say, where are the transportation companies? Where are the daycare? Where are the children? Where are the companies now? Yet they can't answer.
And to this point, Nick, the transportation companies we've been to, we haven't seen a single vehicle at any of them. In fact, some of them don't even exist. We can't even find them. We're going to the addresses that are listed on the Secretary of State's website as their business address.
And I'll bet you anything on that website, you will not find the race, ethnicity, country of origin, anything of any of the people that own these companies.
This is a massive parking lot here. We're gonna go ask them where their vehicles are. They should not have any excuse as to why they don't have their vehicles here, other than if they are out driving right now. And what's the story behind this business?
Well, this business is new as of March of 2024. It's Muhammad Malim is the registered agent for 713 Minnehaha Avenue East.
Me and David headed into this building, however, the owner was not there.
We're here at the suite of Epimonia Transport LLC. There's actually not even a sign here. And anyone here, it looks like there's a guy over here. Let's see if we can talk to him really quick. Do you know about Epimonia Transport here?
So there was a transportation company here in 305 for a long time, even before I joined the building a few years ago. He's never really here. I've seen the office a couple times. There's barely anything in there but a couch. And then I see him maybe twice a month so.
And there's no transport vehicles outside. Massive parking lot, but no transport.
I've never seen one. I've been here for 3 years and I'm always here.
Achilles, what up, dude? Welcome in, dude. Welcome in. Yeah, Cav, right. Exactly, Muhammad. I fucking knew it. Yeah. Yeah, Muhammad Salim or whatever the fuck his name is. Yeah. So here's the thing, right? If Trump does immigration or like martial law the way I think they should do martial law in Minneapolis, honestly, like genuinely, after he invokes the Insurrection Act, there will be like immigration checkpoints everywhere. And then ICE, like military immigration checkpoints. And then ICE can go and do their things whenever the fuck they please. That's what should be fucking happening right now. Honestly. Because this is just out of fucking control, dude. It's out of control. These people are destroying cars and stealing weapons and documents and all sorts of shit from these cars. They're beating up ICE agents. They're trying to hit them with their cars. They're blocking traffic. They're doing all sorts of crazy shit. Get these people out of the fucking streets. That's what needs to happen. There has to be some kind of hardline stance at some point. Otherwise, there's no point in even being there in the first place. If these places are nonprofits, Charles Darwin, if they're legitimate businesses, that's a great question. If they're nonprofits, IRS doesn't really care, honestly. They really like nonprofit fraud is like directive. It's when someone blows the whistle on a business that, like on a nonprofit that does something, then they actually investigate. But aside from that, they don't, they go, okay, you made this much money, you spent this much money, you sent this much money to this cause, whatever, yada, yada.
I'm a workaholic. I'm just nonstop here, so I know everybody in the building, and this specific space here is probably the most sketchy out of any other business here. Everyone else is here, they're friendlier. He just pops in and out.
And for instance, this guy Muhammad, he should have his business in 308. There should be transportation vehicles outside. There's nothing.
That's weird that you say 308 because he's always been in 305 for the last 3 years.
Wow, so he's even lying on his public records with the government.
I would assume if he was to make and doing fraud, it makes sense to switch it up and throw people off track. It would be the first thing somebody would do, I would think.
So since the fraud has started to be exposed, Muhammad has left the scene, and that guy just said, he confirmed that there has never even been transportation vehicles outside. So Muhammad has completely left the scene. He's nowhere to be found. And this parking lot, massive parking lot, actually never even had any transport vehicles, according to the guy who lived or had his office next to Muhammad. How quick do you think the fraud would dry out here in Minnesota if they were to cut out the transportation side of the fraud?
I think it would have a massive effect, and that the signal that would send would let people know the party's over.
Because if me and you were to go to the doctor, we'd either have to find a family member.
Yeah, I saw that one, Charles Darwin. That shit's insane, bro. Literally hundreds of millions of dollars. It's fucking crazy, dude.
Have ourselves or pay for an Uber. How come they even have this set up?
Yeah, I tried to arrange a ride with one of these Somali transportation companies. They said they were all full. So now we're at 2833 13th Avenue South in Minneapolis. And there's supposed to be a non-emergency medical transportation company here called Advance Mobility Incorporated. And what's interesting about this company is that state records show that it first registered with the state of Minnesota in 1999.
And they have been in business for over 26 years.
Yes, correct.
And
So
we're gonna go inside.
They must have a lot of vehicles.
The IRS does, or the nonprofit does? Because, like, so 501c3s, as long as the money isn't being directly paid to people by salary, like the people who run it, at least by salary, there's a certain amount of money that has to go to whatever cause they stand for, and there's one other thing. But aside from that, once you file your taxes at the end of the year, the IRS just kind of goes, well, we're good.
So this is Advanced Mobility 2833, boarded up. All these windows are covered right here. We're gonna see if we can go inside. There's a bunch of shops in here. We have money transferring shop. We got clothes in here. There's a coffee.
Yeah, like legitimate nonprofits are going to have strict regulations because they actually I'm not even talking shit about nonprofits. Legitimate nonprofits are a good thing.
Coffee shop. Let's see if Advanced Mobility is in here. We got spices. Is Advanced Mobility here?
You know 224?
I don't think you guys are allowed to record it.
Do you know where Advanced Mobility is?
Suite 224.
She's recording over there, so. Suite 224. Do you guys know where Advanced Mobility is? Do you guys know where Advanced Mobility is?
Advanced Mobility?
Yeah, we're looking for it. Never heard of it?
What is this? What is that?
Oh, my name is Nick Shirley. We're just looking for Advanced Mobility.
Hey.
Where's Advanced Mobility at?
We don't care about Advanced Mobility.
That's what we're asking for. All right, we're looking for Advanced Mobility. Nobody can help us right now. We got a whole group of people trying to get us out of here. We're looking for Advanced Mobility.
We don't care about
Advanced Mobility doesn't exist.
Get the out here, man. Get out. You need to get out. You need to get out. Get out.
Now
hey, there's a child there. Not in a daycare center. It's in the middle of this business.
They're pushing us out of here. Where's Advanced Mobility at?
We don't care about Advanced Mobility.
That's what we're asking for.
Get out. Get out.
Would you like to give a statement on where Advanced Mobility is?
No, go ahead. Get out. We don't care.
So Advanced Mobility is not anywhere here. We're leaving, sir. Would you like to give a statement on what's happening here in Minnesota?
You make stuff up. This is a lie. I don't care. Who do you work for? Who do you work for? No, who do you work for?
Nick Shirley.
Who do you work
This
for?
is Nick Shirley, sir.
I don't care about Nick Shirley. That's you.
Yes, sir.
But who do you work for?
For Nick Shirley.
I don't care about Nick Shirley.
That's who he's working for today, Nick Shirley.
This is from the state of
We don't care
Minnesota.
about that. Get out of here.
Stop here.
And see, you guys say I can't film, but look at you guys filming. You can do that. You can film here. Advanced Mobility doesn't exist.
Well, so what was interesting was we walked in there, and on the state's website, it says it's in Suite 224, but it's a one-story building. None of the suites had the number 2 on them. It doesn't exist. And it's been registered since 1999, and it doesn't exist.
All right, next location. David, where are we at?
We're at what's called Ray's, R-A-Y-Z Transportation, LLC.
And this is Ray's Transportation. We're on a street. There's no parking lot for any transportation vehicles. We'll see what happens. This is the address for Ray's Transportation. see if anybody is here. Is Ray's Transportation here, sir?
I don't know. Transportation place. There's no transportation places here.
Oh, okay.
It's
Well,
all
It's just
healthcare places.
RAYZ.
well, I think it's confirmed they're not here, David. So it's confirmed that Ray Transportation, all of these transportation companies, they're kind of like ghost companies. They exist on paper, but they don't actually exist in person. Would you like to see anybody in the government here held accountable?
Most definitely, because there can definitely be an allocation of funds.
And what's your message to Tim Walz?
Make a change. Make a change, because there's definitely, even when it comes down to like the kids and stuff, there's definitely stuff that like
since before Bush,
we need spaces for the things that are going on that they're not doing. We need these type of spaces for it. Now this is some crazy stuff, but I'm glad that you bringing light to it. It is a crazy, interesting situation.
Hey, what's up? What you got going on, man? Hey. You keep that false narrative that you be going on. It's a nonsense.
You should get in your car, because
you should not be doing that, right? You are creating misinformation. This is not fair. It's not fair for the American people to be doing that. It's not fair. It's not fair what you mean. You cannot be doing that. You're not being fair.
How?
This country is built on fairness. You're not being fair.
Yeah, moving somewhere and stealing tax money isn't very fair either, you fucking retard.
You cannot come into the community and be doing that.
So we shouldn't allow fraud to be happening, right?
Let the legal system do its job.
Well, it's failed.
We got a governor. We got an attorney general.
Yeah, this shit's been going on for over 25 years now.
Let them do
Oh
the
my
job.
God, dude.
You're not in a position to do the job. You're not a prosecutor. If you want to run for office, go ahead, run for office. But you cannot be doing this.
He's not bringing charges. All he's doing is just exposing it. That's why this guy's so mad. That's why he's so mad. Because it's getting exposed. Because he probably he's probably making money from it too. That's why he's going to pull off in his car and try intimidation tactics. That's basically all this is.
This is misinformation. This is information.
How is it misinformation, sir? It's from the
This is what you're doing.
state
You're
of
coming
Minnesota.
You're coming everywhere. Where you coming from?
You see what I mean? We're talking about the facts that's happening here.
You can't. It's Southside. It's my turf. Get it.
Sir, so you...
This my turf. And then he gets in his car and drives away like a pussy. It's the screaming and screeching of criminals in our government that have acted in our government for a long time and are being exposed. Just give it time, boys. This is all going to go away.
We were just having a civil conversation. That guy hopped out of his car in the middle of the road. In the middle of the road about the fraud that's happening. And he's saying that I'm the bad guy for showing light of what's happening here.
They're passionate. They're passionate people. They don't want this type of stuff either going on or be brought to light. So that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna come. It's a very
see how like this guy right here, the top of his head isn't bigger than the middle of his head.
very tight knit community.
You saw it firsthand how crazy it gets out here. He hopped out in the middle of the intersection.
I'll say.
So this isn't about race. You're a black guy. They're black, right? We don't have no ill feelings towards you by any means. We're talking.
Dude, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't explain that it's not racism. You don't have to do that. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Fraud is fraud.
Talking about the fraud that's happening. So God bless you, sir.
Mogadishu
Thank you very much.
Muhammad. Yeah, no
Why are we
shit.
doing this?
So we're doing this, A, because it's the right thing to do. The people of Minnesota and the people of America want this done. Fraud is fraud. And when we try and talk with these people and say, look, the main reason we're doing this is to find out why are all these checks being written by the state of Minnesota for companies that don't even exist. That's what we're trying to figure out. It's not a race issue. It's a fraud issue, and fraud is fraud.
And so what most people don't understand about this fraud is it is literally in the entire state of Minnesota. It's not just in one part of Minneapolis.
Right, and so I think what happens is the people in the suburbs of Minneapolis and St. Paul, they get lulled into a false sense of security because they say, oh, that's in Minneapolis, it doesn't affect us, or that's in St. Paul. And we're showing that this fraud spreads throughout the entire state of Minnesota, including all of the suburbs, and we're going to bring to light exactly what's going on in those respective suburbs.
And so what's happening in this suburb of St. Louis Park?
Well, this is one of the Somali NEMT, non-emergency medical transportation companies.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's registered with the state of Minnesota in St. Louis Park. And so let's see if this one actually exists.
This is the location of Crescent Transportation. We have no vans outside right now. Does not look like any vans are outside. Let's go inside, see if Crescent Transportation exists. Here we are, and it's an apartment complex. There's no signage of any Crescent Transportation Company. Once again, another fraudulent business where they don't...
Right, yeah. Millions on millions of dollars gets packed into these fake businesses, and somehow some 23-year-old Mormon kid can go and expose all this. But yet, if I get sent a $601 Venmo from somebody, I'm going to jail for tax fraud. Go fuck yourself.
You have a storefront to show where they're at. This is an apartment complex. So this is an apartment complex right here?
Yeah.
And have you ever seen Crescent Transportation out here?
Nope.
And what do you think about the fraud taking place here in Minnesota?
Huh? I'm a taxpayer. I don't like it.
What's your message to all the fraudsters?
Huh? Prosecute their ass, take them to jail.
How
do you feel knowing that, for instance, right here, a transportation company that receives money from the government?
See, this guy probably fucking works his ass off and barely gets by. And these fucking scumbags are making over $1 million a year from the taxpayers' dollars. And then we're finding out there's hundreds of millions of dollars going into fucking suitcases that are going into airports and shit. It's insane, dude.
Is not even here. It's the apartment complex.
I just said, I don't like it. I'm a taxpayer. I work hard for my money. People out here fraud, they still go to jail.
And should Tim Walz go to jail?
Oh, he cricket too, huh? All them cricket, all the politicians. My daddy ain't never liked none of them.
So that man right there just confirmed that this is an apartment complex.
Right, and so the cities have specific rules governing operating businesses out of apartments.
Level 3 plates.
They do not allow transportation companies to park vehicles in an apartment parking lot. None of the cities in the Twin Cities allow that.
Because even if you were to be running a transportation company out of your apartment, there's nowhere to park the cars.
Well, where are they? There aren't any. Crescent, I don't see anything with Crescent on it anywhere.
More fraud taking place here.
So this is called Hopkins Child Care Center. This facility is licensed to hold 118 children. So this should be a really big facility. And this year alone, they have received $2.25 million from the state of Minnesota. And last year, they received $1.92 million from the state of Minnesota. And this facility, in the past 5 years, has been in the top 10 for the most money received from the state of Minnesota.
So there should be plenty of children. There should be footprints of children walking in and out.
This should be a very busy place, yes.
So this right here is Hopkins Child Care Center. They're receiving over $2 million a year. All of the windows are completely blacked out. You can't even get in. And for a place that's supposed to have over 100 children, there's no footprints anywhere going into the store. And it's locked. Midday right now.
There's no signs outside or anything.
Ringing the doorbell right now.
No misspelled signs or anything. Even lower class brothers don't like fraud. Yeah, exactly, bro. It's crazy. 80% on welfare, so why do they need so many daycares or transportation businesses? Good fucking point, dude. That's a good fucking point, man. I mean, like, if they have all of this welfare money that they're getting, which they are, why are there so many daycare businesses? What are these fucking, ragheads doing with all this money that they're getting from the federal government? It's crazy.
See if anybody comes. Hello, sir. How are you doing? How are you doing? Yes, sir.
Get out.
Okay, listen.
Get out. This is our business.
Each other, okay?
Yes,
What are you
sir.
looking for?
These are the business. These are the business.
Go this side. Yeah. This private.
I can be here in the
No,
parking lot.
no. You don't be here.
Wait,
What are
can
you
we
looking
ask
for?
you about the daycare? It's
What
all
are you
right.
looking
It's all
for?
right. Can we ask you about the daycare?
No.
I don't care, Ken.
Sir, I'm not racist.
You have to live here.
I'm asking
No. You don't ask me nothing, man.
$2.25 million.
Get out, you guys. Get out.
$2.5 million.
Get out.
This is a business.
Get out, hey. Get out. What are you looking for?
We're asking. We just want to
get out.
We just want to ask you about $2.25 million.
Get out.
You say get out of here, man.
Get out, guys. Get out.
You cannot do that.
Get out. No, you cannot. You cannot do that.
Where?
Get out.
This is.
Get out, man. No. Get lost. Get out. No.
Sir.
You have to get out. This is our property. Get out.
Why? Can I ask you about the daycare? I have the paperwork right here.
Oh, dude, that's why they're so pissed, because all this shit's about to get shut the fuck down.
Here.
No.
Look at that. Looks like a kid drew it. That sign up there for this business, old, faded, looks like a fucking kid drew it.
Get out.
What?
They're not even willing to spend the money that they're making off of the federal government to get decent signage outside.
What's the need for $2.25 million for a daycare?
Get out. Get
Can
out.
you answer the question?
Get out. No, I don't ask you any question.
You can't.
Get out.
You can't answer the question.
Get out. No. Who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley.
No, I don't give a shit. Get out.
Could you?
Get out.
Who are you? My name's Nick Shirley. No, I don't give a shit. You fucking, they're so smooth-brained. These people are like, they need to go. They just need to go. That's really the end of the story, dude. These people need to go.
Could you answer the question?
No, I don't.
What's the need for $2.25 million for a daycare?
No. $1 million. Don't worry about it. Get out.
Okay.
Get out.
And it's licensed for 118 children.
Get out.
But I don't see any footprints of any children here. I don't see any footprints of any children here.
Get out. Get out. Guys, get out. No, I'm not asking nothing, man.
I'm just asking you about what we're seeing here.
No. Get out. Get out our business.
Get
out.
Sir.
This is my property.
You have millions of people watching right now. Can you say what's the need for $2.25 million? And where are the 118 children?
Get out.
Sir, I'm just asking a simple question.
Get out. No, you don't ask me any question. Get out.
You have the opportunity to answer the question.
No. You can't ask me nothing. Get out. Get out. Our business, man. Get out. Get out, motherfucker. Get out.
Sir,
get out.
Just answer the question.
No.
Just answer the question.
No, get out. Leave.
Sir, just answer the simple question.
Hey, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
You YouTube, man. Get out.
All right, code word has been given. We're out.
Get out.
All right, we got to get out of here.
Get out.
Sir, just answer the question. Where are the children? No footprints of any children around here. No footprints of any children. They can't even answer the question. We gave them so many opportunities.
Wait for him.
We gave them plenty of opportunities to just answer some simple questions. Millions of people are watching right now.
They came out with guns blazing. All we want to know is where are the children? 118 children, no footprints in the snow. All of their vehicles were sitting there with 2 feet of snow on them. They haven't moved in months.
The windows are all blacked out.
Yeah.
It's the same thing at all these daycares. 4 men came out, yet they couldn't answer the simple question. We had it right here. 118 children. $2.25 million is here.
Welcome to Minnesota.
Now this daycare center, how much money has this one received?
So this this child care center is called Proud Child Care Center, and it's in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, which is a very high income area. It's a further out suburb from Minneapolis, but there are a lot of multi-billion-dollar homes right in this neighborhood, and this child care got $1.25 million in funding in fiscal year 2025. It got $1.08 million last year. It opened in 2021. Let's go see if we can find any kids.
There should be at least 40 children here. Looking at the snow prints, does not look like there's any snow prints of any young children. And all of these windows are completely blacked out. Let's see if we could just talk to somebody. Could I enroll my son Joey into daycare here? Well, do you have the paperwork where I can enroll a child?
Who are you?
Oh, my name's Nick Shirley. I was wondering if I could enroll a child. I have a son named Joey.
Who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley.
So where you come from?
Yeah, I'm just coming out and seeing if I could enroll my child, Joey. We just want to get a statement as to why this daycare needs $1.26 million and if it's even possible to enroll somebody like my child, my imaginary child, Joey. No, you guys can't give a clear statement, or could you even give me a paper to enroll a child into the daycare? Just to show that you guys are a legit business. It would debunk all claims if you could just give me a piece of paper saying where to enroll a child. You can't do that. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Of course they can.
And,
of course they can, because they're not actually fucking enrolling kids in these places.
I hope this place actually is holding 47 children because you guys are receiving $1.26 million in this year alone. So have a great rest of your day. They won't even give us a paper to enroll a child. Could have debunked all their claims. They can't even do it. One of the big talks about the fraud is about Quality Leering Center. It's a daycare that has received $1.9 million. It's licensed for over 99 children. And instead of quality learning, it says quality leering outside. But the big controversy about the Quality Leering Center is that Somalians, after the video went live, they all of a sudden started shuffling children into the daycare. But at the same time, the Commissioner of Children of Minnesota was on a live stream saying they had closed the daycare a week ago.
Quality Learning Center closed just over a week ago.
How much money has this place all received? And what's...
This is the one that's licensed for 99 children. This fiscal year, they've received 1.9 million, and in fiscal year
right, dude, exactly, Robert Whaley.
They had received about 2.2 million, so about 4 million in the last 2 fiscal years.
We're up in the Quality Leering Center, 1-800-FRAUD, as now it had been confirmed that this place was closed down, and now they're shuffling children into the daycare.
So Tiki Brown said this facility was closed.
Oh, she said a week ago.
And now, magically, it's full of cars.
And, like, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there's been a shitload of people in the Minneapolis area that fucking hate this shit's going on, that have been going here and dunking on this. And it's not just white people, it's black people, too.
So how can it be closed if people are coming and going?
Fraud. Why do you have everybody here?
Yeah. Okay, this is the owner right here.
They can record. We just need off the property.
It's not their property.
So you guys can record. And so how come they said this building was closed? We're trying to speak to the owner. They won't even answer a simple question. Look, now he's going inside.
Hey, sir, don't run though. It looks suspicious when you run, brother. And you can smile, but bro.
Sir, I'm right here.
He's right here to speak to you.
I'm right here.
Don't do that. Oh,
you can't defend the fraud.
Oh, come on. At the daycare, do it. Hey, not at the daycare, doing the middle finger, though.
We have like 100 cameras on it. Now, both of these people have interesting ties with politicians inside of Minnesota. For instance, the man who's running the daycare, he was celebrating with Mayor Fry after he won re-election of mayor inside of Minneapolis. And then this lady right here seems to be a friend of Ilhan Omar, as she has photos with her outside of the restaurant, and she also has videos of her giving a tour to a separate daycare to Mayor Fry. It really makes you wonder why these politicians haven't fought against the fraud, knowing that it's happening in locations like Quality Leering Center. Meanwhile, they're taking photos and celebrating with them at events. What's your message, people, on the fraud here in Minnesota?
This is why they are only talking about ICE being there. And they're not talking about anything else. They haven't brought up a thing about fraud. Whenever someone asks them about it, they say, yeah, there's fraud. The fraud is very real. It's so real. It's real. It's real.
This is part of the cover-up. They're trying to cover their tracks.
Robert Whaley, that shit's funny as hell.
Let me say this on camera. If you can prove that any of the information that I have here is false, I'll give you $100,000 cash.
Okay.
If any of it's false or inaccurate in any way. Anybody want to take me up? And if you can't prove it, you have to give me $100.
So you saying all that's real?
100%. I'll give you $100,000 if you can disprove my information.
Okay, see, they all went silent. Silent.
Anybody? Your $100 versus my $100,000 cash.
They're all silent. What do you think about that?
I really like this dude. I think his name's David. That guy's a fucking G, bro. He is a fucking legend, man.
Fraud here.
Hey. The fraud here in Minnesota,
right? Oh, Mr. Without a doubt, without a doubt at all. Yeah, 100%.
It's crazy. Like, what do you mean specifically? What do you mean?
Yeah, how do you feel about this daycare, for instance, receiving $1.9 million, and they couldn't even spell learning right? They spelled leering.
Hey, man, Somalis, they're an interesting creature. I'm not gonna lie, I can't say too much. I'm already too hot, but I mean, Tim Walz, you gotta solve this stuff. Minnesota really cracked down on this because they've been doing this for years. They've been doing this for years, so.
Should Tim Walz be prosecuted?
Hell yeah.
And at this point, you're probably wondering where all the millions and billions of dollars has gone.
See, so just know, all these people showing up to these protests and stuff, this is not There is not an overwhelming majority of people that don't want them there. That is one sect of people that show up and do this shit. And then after last night, now the Insurrection Act's coming. So now you're really cooked. Just saying.
Well, it's been well tracked that a lot of the money, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, has been funneled through TSA at the airport inside of Minnesota.
Which is fucking crazy, dude. Like, if I was the federal government, I would replace everybody at TSA with known, like, simplest loyalists or whatever, and stop that from happening fucking immediately. That is crazy, dude.
Been well tracked and documented. Even in 2017, there was reports coming from the local Fox News station, and I was actually able to meet up with a whistleblower who used to work as an agent at TSA on the side of narcotics, and he saw millions of dollars go through TSA.
And what kind of fraud did you see take place here in Minnesota?
So I worked for the airport police for 31 years. 24 of those years I worked in narcotics at MSP Airport. And my recollection was from about 2015-16 to 2021 when I retired. I would get emails from our dispatch saying like 2 male Somali descent.
Oh no, they see it, dude. They see it. TSA, they completely scan all of your shit as it goes through. So they see it. There's just people who are letting it go.
Individuals, they would give us their names. They claimed the cash, that they had a large amount of cash at the checkpoints. We'd get all this information in an email, and I believe they would send it right away. So TSA would contact our dispatch telling us this, then our dispatch would relay the info via email to us.
And how much was the money?
The money, the smallest amount in a suitcase that I heard was like $750,000. But generally, it was anywhere from $1 million to $6 million in a suitcase. And there usually was, as far as I can remember, there was always 2 individuals traveling. So you would have maybe one guy with 2.2 million and another guy with 3 million. And
at airports, you're able to take $10,000 without declaring it. How are these guys able to take millions of dollars?
Because as far as I know, as long as they declared it, they were fine. So then TSA would contact HSI and Customs.
Total fucking failure of government.
And I'm sure they got the information. We got the information. My administration knew about it, and I trust that they sent that on to higher state officials on this, but nothing was ever done the whole time I was there. I talked to one individual. We were going after narcotic cash leaving the airport. This was always fraud. We had no nexus to that this cash was related to narcotics. So our hands were kind of tied. We couldn't do a whole lot.
How do you suspect these Somalians had millions of dollars to move in an airport?
We would rack our heads all the time, like, where are they getting this? Where in the world are they getting this money? And I had heard about these daycares and whatnot, but I mean, I thought at the time, okay, maybe they had 10 daycares, but apparently they have a lot more than that. We were all just racking our heads trying to figure this out.
So you openly saw just millions of dollars get moved through these airports?
I saw one time. I saw an open suitcase with the cash because we were looking into seeing if it was narcotics related, which it was not.
How much money do you think moved through the airport in your time?
Millions, literally millions and millions. I mean, we're talking for a good 5-6 years, you're talking, I don't know, 5 to 6 million a week. It would happen twice a week. You would get twice a week where there would be somebody flying, 2 people flying out with $1 to 2 to 3 to 4 or $5 million twice a week, every week, without fail.
And where were those people traveling to?
So this is the word I got, that they would fly to Atlanta, take a flight from Atlanta to Dubai.
Yeah, I've seen that too, Robert Whaley. $500 billion. And then there's other people who say more, you know, like Scott Bassett said, like, what's it, like 10% of our fucking national budget? That's insane, dude.
And then apparently what I had heard was it was too busy or too dangerous to go any further with it, so they'd wire the money to Somalia. Whether they scraped a whole bunch off the top and did that, I don't know.
Wow, so they take the money from Minnesota, take it to Atlanta, and then take it to Dubai, and then from Dubai they then wire the money.
Correct. I don't know that for sure, but that's what I was told by other investigators.
So all the taxpayers' dollars were getting funneled through the airports and then taken to Dubai to be sent to Somalia.
Yes. Yes. It appears that's how it all went down, yes.
You know what? Like, what's crazy about this is the first one was pretty. It was like, damn, dude, like they're really stealing a lot now. And with everything we're seeing come out in the general public, the hundreds of millions going through airports, the fact that it's not just daycare centers but also transportation, mental health, adult daycares, like all these different places. Now, seeing how this is starting to just completely fucking blow up. We're seeing like, okay, like this is it. This is done. Ooh, wait. Let's see.
Violent protesting reigniting. A federal agent ambushed and beaten in Minneapolis and then shot one of the attackers in the leg. DHS says the attack happened while the Immigration and Customs Enforcement officer was arresting an illegal immigrant and was forced to defend his life.
Right, exactly,
That makes
Achilles.
2 incidents in 1 week requiring action deemed by the federal government as justified to defend its agents. I'm Harris Faulkner. You are in the Faulkner Focus. Anarchy is erupting in Minneapolis. Before and after what happened last night.
See, I'm telling you, bro, all these people who are throwing fireworks and deadly weapons and shit at these officers, once the military comes in, they will all cry pussy. All of them.
So they're not protesters anymore, they're agitators and criminals. Look at this. The video showing them throwing fireworks and other items at agents, breaking glass, beating cars, agitators vandalizing federal vehicles, and using spray paint against them. The feds were forced to respond with pepper spray, tear gas, and flashbangs to get things under control. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem made some big news moments ago when she said the department could do more with fewer agents on the streets if only Mayor Jacob Frey would work with them instead of putting them in danger.
Yeah.
This kind of violence is perpetuated by what we hear the governor saying, what we hear the mayor in Minneapolis saying, and their irresponsibility is extremely reckless. Governor Tim Walz has my phone number. I have called him and talked to him and said, listen, you let your city burn down in 2020. Don't do it again. President Trump wants to keep everybody safe. We're enforcing federal law. We're protecting every single American. Work with us.
She offered her number to the governor of Minnesota to keep more of this from happening. The violence against ICE agents. Let's see if he calls her. New information now about the ICE agent who shot and killed agitator Renee Good. According to DHS, he suffered internal bleeding to his torso after Renee Goods ran into him with her SUV. Vice President J.D. Vance posting this on X. While much of the left has lied about this case, it turns out ramming a law enforcement officer with a car causes injuries. Who knew?
Right.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz gave an address last night. Critics say his words are again inflaming the situation.
Help us establish a record of exactly what's happening in our communities. You have an absolute right to peacefully film ICE agents as they conduct these activities. So carry your phone with you at all times. And if you see these ICE agents in your neighborhood, take out that phone and hit record. Help us create a database of the atrocities against Minnesotans.
See, this is the bullshit, dude. This is it. The atrocities against Minnesotans. If you would just fucking work with them, look how scared he looks. I mean, he knows he's cooked, bro. He knows he is so fucked right now. That's why he wants all this shit to go the way it's going. Because there's probably more to it now than we even know. Just saying. Like this is just scratching the surface. And his local government, state government people have already turned on him.
Lieutenant Randy Sutton is coming up in focus. We'll begin with Matt Finn in Minneapolis. Matt.
Harris, the Twin Cities are on edge, and then last night we get word.
I have no idea, Robert Whaley. I have no idea at all. I hope soon. You know, it's always good to tune into him at night, but I haven't seen him in a minute.
Heard of another shooting. When our crew arrived to the scene, there was already a well-organized, very angry anti-ICE protest. Shadows and silhouettes weaving in and out, trying to squeeze out police, get close to the police line. Also, rioters apparently ripped a weapons locker from a vehicle believed to be used from immigration agents. Extremely incited agitators tried to smash their way into the weapons locker and may have gotten their hands on bullets and at least one gun. People were damaging cars, smashing windows, and spray painting them. Protesters were also going through what appears to be law enforcement documents on the street. One of our producers on the scene says the protesters were carefully reading each paper they got their hands on, believed to have sensitive information like agent names, arrests, warrants, maps, and much more. Now, all of this chaos erupted near the shooting scene. DHS says immigration agents were conducting a targeted traffic stop of an illegal migrant from Venezuela. They say the man tried to escape, crashed his car, and then ran. At one point, two other people joined in on ambushing an officer, hitting him with a shovel. The officer feared for his life and shot the initial subject in the leg. That person is believed to be okay. Now, around the same time as the shooting, a special address from Governor Tim Walz was airing statewide. Walz mentioned resistance and told Minnesotans that Donald Trump wants chaos and confusion. Mayor Jacob Fry urged protesters to be calm, but is blaming the Trump administration.
There's still a lot that we don't know at this time, but what I can tell you for certain is that this is not sustainable.
What up, Emmett? Good to see you, man. Welcome in.
Situation that our city is presently being put in. Imagine if that city or that town was suddenly invaded by thousands of federal agents that do not share the values that you hold dear.
Oh, buddy, just wait until the Insurrection Act gets invoked. Then it's going to be thousands of soldiers. And if you would have just complied... See, like, there's this crazy idea from people, I don't understand why, but there's this crazy idea that ICE isn't in every fucking state. And they're not doing this in every fucking state. Well, they're not doing their job in every state. The reason why things are so tough right here, right now in Minnesota, is because they aren't working with them. The government is not working with the government. That's it.
Imagine if your daily routines were disrupted.
So a short while ago, President Trump posted on Truth Social that for now a judge has sided with the Trump administration and will allow the ICE immigration raids to continue here in Minneapolis.
Yep,
Paris.
they sure did.
Ken, thank you. The president
they're legal.
is at the ready posting this. If the corrupt politicians of Minnesota don't obey the law and stop the professional agitators and insurrectionists from attacking the patriots of ICE, who are only trying to do their job, I will institute the Insurrection Act, which many presidents have done before me, and quickly put an end to the travesty that is taking place in that once great state. Lieutenant Randy Sutton is the founder of the Wounded Blue, a former Las Vegas police officer and 34 years in law enforcement. Great to have you on the program again. Look, I just want to start with where Mayor Jacob Fry was. He said, The ICE agents do not share the values that you and I hold dear. So that's a reason to attack them. And by the way, some of these men and women, don't they live in American cities where they're also carrying out operations? I mean, that could be the case too, or at least in those states. They are citizens just like we are. What is he talking about with values?
Well, let's call what's happening in Minneapolis exactly what it is. It is actually domestic terrorism. We are seeing people acting absolutely irrationally. But when you look at the leadership there, Tim Walz and Fry are literally pouring gasoline on the fire. They are creating this environment that is so deadly for law enforcement as well as the citizens. They are creating this environment, and by doing so, they're putting their own people in danger. But you know, when you look at this, when you look at the irrational behaviors that are taking place, you got to follow the money here too, right? There's professional agitators on the ground there. There's money being poured into this insurrection, and that's what it is. It is an insurrection, and these officers have every right. In fact, Harris, they have a duty to protect themselves and protect their fellow officers. We're going to see more violence. We're going to see more death, and this is all on the hands of Fry and Walz.
When you hear the president of the United States saying that he's going to enact something this country hasn't seen in decades and decades, the Insurrection Act, I should say, what is your reaction to that?
Well, I understand it. I understand why. We've never seen this is unprecedented behavior. This is unprecedented behavior from leadership at the state level, at the city level. And I got to tell you, Harris, one of the things that I have found so disappointing is the leadership of the law enforcement in Minneapolis and other cities like Portland. You know, the reality is this, that the Minneapolis Police Department has been neutered since the George Floyd fiasco. They have less than, they're down about a third of their officers, and the leadership has been milquetoast at best. Law enforcement needs to be united here.
Yeah.
The police agency that is...
Yeah, because they were a defund the police city. That's why, right? That's why. They were a defund the police city.
At the forefront here, the Minneapolis police, along with the other agencies, need to be working with the federal government, not against them. And so when you see this divide, it creates even more danger for those officers on the ground. And, you know, as the founder of the Wounded Blue, I literally see, I see the damage. I see not only the physical attacks, the physical damage, but also what's not being spoken about is the tremendous amount of post-traumatic stress that is being poured onto these officers.
Oh, that is such an excellent point to make as we watch all of this violence. And I mentioned spray paint and some of these other things. I've been seeing on social media, oh, I wouldn't mind if somebody spray painted me or my car. I don't think they realize that it's just part of an entire series of things that they're doing.
Oh, I wouldn't care if these people destroyed my shit. They're a bunch of fucking... See, those people live in gated communities where none of this shit happens. They don't live in inner cities. Okay? They have they just have no idea, bro. They have no idea. Because then when it does happen to them, they're going to cry pussy and, oh, well, I don't know why people would do that. I'm on your side. I'm on your side. Like, it's just crazy.
Like ambushing with a snow shovel, with sticks. And that officer, by the way, that federal agent is hospitalized after that happened. I want to get to this. And this is what happened last week. That was just last night. So a week ago, here's where we were. DHS, an ICE agent who shot Renee Good, suffered internal bleeding. We learned about that injury yesterday. That covers a range of injuries that can be from mild to severe. It's HIPAA. We don't have all of the information, obviously. But here's what Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry, who cries about don't put forth a narrative, just let the investigation happen, but then constantly says stuff like this, talking about the agent's injuries like he were his doctor. Watch this.
I mean, the ICE agent walked away with a hip injury that he might as well have gotten from closing a refrigerator door with his hips. He was not injured. I've seen worse injuries from doing that. And so give me a break. No, he was not ran over. He walked out of there with a hop in his step.
Your reaction?
I literally
They're
cannot
cooked,
believe what I'm
boys.
hearing from this individual. Now,
And they know
Fry
they're cooked.
has absolutely no credibility whatsoever. He was calling this a murder within minutes of it taking place, and that is in and of itself is inciting violence. Fry is once again part of the problem, not part of the solution, and his continual deflection of and Walz's deflection of the Somali fraud, I believe, plays a major role in their decisions, in their actions. But in their actions, they are taking people and they are creating a mob mentality.
Yes.
And Harris, I can tell you this from years on the streets. What behaviors take place during a mob situation are entirely more dangerous and difficult to deal with than when you're dealing with a one-on-one situation. Can you imagine one of these individuals picking up a firework, which is basically a bomb, and throwing it at a police officer or an ICE agent if they were by themselves? It would not happen.
No, they wouldn't. They have to do it when there's a massive crowd around and then what would happen is they would get shot at and then they would cry pussy like they're a victim after they just threw a fucking firework at a cop.
But they feel emboldened because they are being emboldened by the leadership of the state and of the city.
Yep.
It is absolutely irrational. It is dangerous and it is destructive.
You know, one of the things you point out is how much worse the mayor and the governor are making this. When Mayor Fry, I don't know how it hits you, but when he says something that is so definitive, he's not saying, I think he got this. He's definitively saying there were no injuries. And then we have medical reports that this ICE agent was in fact injured. And when he's so defiant like that, he's got a couple of options there. He's politically and professionally incompetent, or he's lying. He knew he was injured.
No, he's lying. He knew he was injured.
I'm curious to see what the next chapter
lying.
is with this guy. He's got to go.
Absolutely, and here's the problem, that there are no consequences until the next election, and he just got elected, and the guy that he was running against, I think, was even worse than Fry, which is hard to imagine. It really, truly is. Where are the adults in the room, Harris? They have left. They have left the state.
Lieutenant Sutton, thank you for your time today.
All right. So just so we're all clear, these are the kinds of people that we're up against. These are the people telling us, don't believe your lying eyes. These are the kind of people who were telling us that you should not fall in line with what videos show you. You should not believe any of this. It's all a lie. Republicans are fascists. These are the kinds of people that push this bullshit.
Do you think that men can get pregnant?
I hesitated there because I wasn't sure where the conversation was going or what the goal was. I mean, I do take care of patients with different identities. I take care of many women. I take care of people with different identities. And so that's where I paused. I think, I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Well, the goal is just the truth. So can men get pregnant?
Again, the reason I paused there is I'm not really sure what the goal of the question
The goal is just to establish a biological reality. You just said a moment ago that science and evidence should control, not politics. So let's just test that proposition. Can men get pregnant?
I take care of people with many identities, but
Can men get pregnant?
Many women that can get pregnant.
Refusing to
I do
answer.
Take care of people that don't identify as women. That
Can men get pregnant?
Again, as I'm saying,
Let me just remind you what you testified to a moment ago. Science and evidence should control, not politics. So can men get pregnant? You're a doctor, I think.
Science and evidence should guide medicine.
Do science and evidence tell us that men can get pregnant? Biological men, can they get pregnant?
I also think yes/no questions like this are a political tool. And
No, yes/no questions are about the truth, doctor. Let's not make a mockery of this proceeding. This is about science and evidence, and I'm asking you. You know, the United States Supreme Court just heard arguments yesterday at great length.
I'm so glad that they're still dying on this hill, because dying on a hill is dying. I'm so glad that they are dying on this hill. Majority of people don't agree with this shit. Majority of people think it's fucking crazy. These are the kinds of things. It's like never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake, right? Like this is the kind of belief structure that destroys your chances of ever attaining power again. I hope the Democrats, people say we want sane Democrats and stuff. Well, like I would like that too, but we don't. They don't believe that there's just men and women. They don't believe that people who come into this country fecklessly or like unabated, unvetted everything is a bad thing for society. They don't believe that. They believe that people who pay taxes should be paying for other people's injuries and health care. They're insane. These are the kinds of things that do not catch. People are not sympathetic to this at all. And I really, genuinely, I'm just so glad to see people turning away from this en masse, dude. It's great.
On this question, this is not a hypothetical question. This is not theoretical. It affects real people in their real lives. And you're here as an expert, called by the other side as an expert. And you've been telling us that you follow, right, you're a doctor, and you follow the science and the evidence. So I just want to know, based on the science, can men get pregnant? That's a yes or no question. It really is, I think.
I think you're trying to reduce the complexity of a lot.
I'm not. I'm trying to get, it's not complex. I'm trying to get to an answer, and I'm trying to test, frankly, your veracity as a medical professional and as a scientist. Can men get pregnant?
I think you're also conflating
This is
male
extraordinary.
female with
No, I'm not conflating male and female. They're two different things. There's biological men and there's biological women. And I want to know, can men get pregnant?
what you were talking about is biological.
You're not going to answer my question, it sounds like.
Biological males.
This isn't hard, doctor. Can men get pregnant? Yes or no?
Again, I would be more than happy to have a conversation with you that is not coming from a place of trying to be polarized and push.
I'm not trying to be polarizing. I'm trying to ask. I think it is extraordinary that we are here in a hearing about science and about women. And for the record, it's women who get pregnant, not men. We are here about the safety of women and science that shows that this abortion drug causes adverse health events in 11% of cases. That's 22 times greater.
Which is insane, by the way.
Than the FDA label, another fact you haven't acknowledged, and yet you won't even acknowledge the basic reality that biological men don't get pregnant. There's a difference between biological men and biological women. I don't know how we can take you seriously and your claims to be a person of science if you won't level with this on this basic issue. I thought we were past all of this, frankly. I can't believe we're still here talking about this.
I am a person of science, and I'm also someone here who's here to represent the complex experiences of my patients, and I don't think polarized language or questions serve that goal. I don't think they serve the American people.
It is not polarizing to say that there is a scientific difference between men and women, and I want this to be clear and for the record. It is not polarizing to say that women are a biological reality and should be treated and protected as such. That is not polarizing, that is truth. It is also, by the way, the United States Constitution, which offers unique protections to women in a variety of circumstances as women.
It does.
And your refusal to recognize women as women and men as men is deeply corrosive to science, to public trust, and yes, to constitutional protections for women as women. And I think it's extraordinary.
They don't want to answer the question.
You would sit here and advance a
They don't want to answer the question because they know
discredited and rejected.
They know if she were to say that men can get pregnant, she'll probably, she will be completely embarrassed in the medical community. All of this stuff is working its way out of our system. This is what we're seeing. All this stuff's working its way out. It's all going down the shitter. People are not buying into this. They don't like it. They disagree with it.
By the American people in this forum. And I'm glad we had this exchange because it is exceptionally clarifying. It is also in many ways quite depressing.
Yeah, no shit, dude. All right, so the Senate voted earlier.
The nays are 50, the Senate being equally divided. The Vice President votes.
They voted to continue operations in Venezuela.
Affirmative, and the point of order is sustained. Got to make sure. Okay. On this vote, the yeas are 50, the nays are 50, the Senate being equally divided. The Vice President.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Further Venezuela military action without Congress's authorization. So moving forward in Venezuela, we do not need Congress's authorization to continue military action in Venezuela. Get fucked. Thomas Massey, go fuck yourself. Rand Paul, go fuck yourself. See, I hate one thing I don't like. Okay, this is ABC, right? So just bear with me here, guys. They call Maria Machado the opposition leader. She won the fucking election there. She won the election there. No one's even arguing that anymore.
I'm going to bring you back to Capitol Hill right now. A live look. Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado is trying to make her way through the crowd. You see the crush of people and cameras there. She is set to speak following a meeting with lawmakers there on Capitol Hill. She also had a closed-door meeting with President Trump at the White House earlier today. But as you can see, this was a meeting that was certainly anticipated here in Washington. I don't know that we necessarily expected this crush of people. It seems like she's speaking a little impromptu there. I don't know if we can listen in to what she's saying. She's the most.
See, you could listen into what she's saying. They even fucking like turn the sound of everyone asking her questions down because they don't want people to hear what this chick has to say.
Recent Nobel Peace Prize winner. I know that she had vowed to share that award with the president. That was something that was of note before this meeting behind closed doors at the White House. And of course, we're awaiting a full readout of that and a full readout from Capitol Hill. But I do know that our senior White House correspondent Selena Wang is.
Me too, Creed. Yeah, I was on the fence about it for a little bit, but now that we just found out that Fulton County falsely certified like 315,000 votes and Trump lost by like 12,000 votes. It's fucking crazy to me, bro.
Is monitoring this along with me. And Selena, if you can hear me, listen, I mean, this was a meeting that was certainly anticipated. And in fact, it really kind of overshadowed another meeting by a special envoy from Venezuela here.
Oh, my God.
With lawmakers.
They must be running out of money, bro. That's one ugly motherfucker. And he's got the Somali head, too. I don't get it.
Yeah, look, I mean, Machado was just meeting with the president at the White House, and then now she's over at the Capitol. She just moments ago wrapped up a meeting with a bipartisan group of senators. And so there's a lot of questions about what her future is going to be, what the future of Venezuela is going to look like, when will there be elections. We've seen that the president is currently very comfortable working with what's left of the Maduro regime, despite capturing and ousting Nicolas
Maduro.
Right,
Mr. Mister,
the
exactly.
president has expressed.
And at the end of the day, I don't understand why there isn't more definitive action being taken on this shit. They should just be cutting federal funding to all these states. Straight up. If you're not gonna, turn over your fucking voter rolls, done.
That he is satisfied working with Delcy Rodriguez.
No more
who is
fucking
Maduro's
money,
vice
dude.
president, now the acting president. And Trump, meanwhile, has sidelined Maria Machado, who's about to speak any moment now, saying that he doesn't believe she has the respect or the support within Venezuela to lead the country, despite the fact that her party is credited with winning that last election in Venezuela, but was blocked from taking power because of the Maduro regime. So it's unclear what she achieved out of that meeting from President Trump. You'll be certain that reporters reporters will certainly press her about what she heard from the president. But today, during the White House briefing, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said that President Trump has not changed his views on Machado.
Yeah, and it is an interesting point to bring up that the president said that he doesn't believe that she has support. Like, what does support look like, especially if she's believed to have won the last election? Any indication what President Trump means by that, Selena?
Well, look, it's clear that the administration is focused on stability.
It's because there's active military down there right now that are working with the government that was supposed to be voted out. So if she were just to go down there, it's not gonna see. They're trying to make it this thing where like Venezuela it's just the leader that was bad, and now that he's gone, everyone else is a good guy. And if this lady goes down there, she's not going to receive any pushback from anybody in the military or anybody else in the government because everyone supports her. And they have this idea that that's going to happen. That's not what's going to happen. I mean, there's an entire military apparatus there that's been working under Maduro, which, not saying all of them like Maduro necessarily, but they're not going to go against their own military. There would be fucking civil wars and shit, dude.
And oil in Venezuela. And the administration has expressed that the current Maduro, what's left of the Maduro government, the leadership there has been very cooperative.
What's left? I mean, every piece of it but fucking Maduro. Like,
with the United States. Caroline Leavitt said thus far they've given the U.S. everything they've asked for when it comes to cooperation on rebuilding the energy infrastructure.
Yeah. Let's listen to them. Let's listen to the people that just got fucked, dude. They're gonna... Is it boiling pot? Yeah. They're gonna give us 100% truth. Like, if they say something that is not in line with the person that they dislike, then they're gonna talk about it, quote it, and then act as though it's truth. That's what they're doing.
I'm going to interrupt you for just...
industry.
Hey, Selena, I'm going to interrupt for just a minute. It looks like she's speaking in English. Let's listen in for a sec here.
Kept that medal for the rest of his life. Actually, when you see his portraits, you can see the medal there. And it was given by General Lafayette as a sign of the brotherhood.
They must be losing some money, bro. This video
people of the
quality
United
sucks.
States and the people of Venezuela in their fight for freedom against tyranny. And 200 years in history, the people of Bolivar are giving back to the heir of Washington a medal, in this case a medal of the Nobel Peace Prize, as a recognition for his unique commitment with our freedom.
Is it his Maria, did he accept it, Maria?
I don't know why anybody even listens to ABC. Like, all of these major legacy news corporations have completely lost their credibility. So yeah, apparently, like, Mandami, he's not doing good as mayor over there right now. Even though, like, Trump was, like, patting him on the back and acting like his friend when they met with each other. Like, Cam Higby's live on the ground in Minneapolis. Let's see, any news going on YouTube? They know they're fucked, bro. They know it. They know they're completely fucked. They know none of this shit. They know they're going down, and that's why all this is happening. They've arrived in Greenland right now. Yeah, great. Finally, it's actually secured. Good job, NATO. You're finally doing your fucking job. This chick is so crazy, bro. She's so out of her mind, dude. She was talking about Iran, and she said that it's all an Israeli psyop. What's up, Abidjan? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. She said it's all an Israeli psyop. All of this is fake. Nobody's actually rioting over there. They're just playing a bunch of, like, scripted videos and stuff. This is insane. And, like, these deaths from the government in, like, the IRGC, this is all verified. They're verifying it themselves. They're even talking about executing some of the protesters. It's insane. Oh, they got him, dude. They fucking got him. Holy shit, bro. This is the guy that got that bag with the guns in it earlier. Oh shit, bro. Good. Damn, that was quick. That was fast. Yes. Absolutely. What the fuck are you talking about? See, fuck Thomas Massey, dude. He's such a fucking cuck. I'm so tired of that piece of shit. Mark Carney begins China visit to reset strained ties. Not for long. Senator Rand Paul highlights National Science Foundation. So Mark Carney is going to turn Canada into Venezuela, basically. I'm doing good, Abby. I'm doing good. It's good to see you. I've been hanging in there, you know, just doing the thing. Mark Carney's going to turn Canada into Venezuela. Is basically what's going to happen.
Order. And I believe the progress that we have made in the partnership sets us up well for the new world order.
He's just fucking saying it now. Oh my God. Dude, I remember if someone said New World Order like 15 years ago, you were crazy, you're a conspiracy theorist, none of that shit's real. Like, I mean, leaders of countries are now talking about it. This is absolutely ridiculous, bro. Holy fuck. The American Communist Party. These guys are so fucking... They're the biggest LARPers on the planet. Dude. How is this stuff a thing, man? It makes no sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense, dude. Well, guys, it doesn't look like there's too much in the news cycle right now, so I might go ahead and end the stream now. Let's see, who's live? Is anybody live? We'll find... Ugh, this guy is... He's so fucking lame, dude. Fuck, is nobody live right now? Here, I'll go ahead and just switch over to Cam Higby. See, and now what they're going to do... Now what they're going to do is they're going to be real peaceful after destroying a bunch of like ICE vehicles and stealing shit out of them. They're going to be real peaceful because all this shit's going to be on camera, and they're going to say, hey, nothing's actually happening here. And like everyone's already seen what's actually going on. So here, I'll go ahead and why is the audio fucking sucking right now? Holy shit. Oh, is EOD live? Oh shit. Hold on. Let me go to EOD. I didn't realize. Is he live? It doesn't show he's live. It says he hasn't streamed in like 4 days. Oh, Jake Rattlesnake? Yeah. I'll do Jake Rattlesnake. That sounds fun. He's watching that Kyle Kuklinski's fucking debate with Michael Knowles.
Which I like because it's entertaining, but I mean, coming from beers.
Here, I'll go ahead and I still don't have the ability to I don't have the ability to raid somebody immediately. But Emmett, are you live?
Thank you, Piers. I try to not think about these issues.
Oh, okay. No, I'll stick around. I'll raid Emmett. I'll raid Emmett. I didn't realize you were live, bro. Sorry.
So let's do that. Venezuela. If the policy here is actual,
Yeah, get a stream kicked up and we can just raid Emmett.
Maduro and replacing Maduro with a second worst alternative. If we were to
Yeah, I can't stand that piece of shit, dude. He actively lies on camera constantly. We can actually, how about this? We'll watch this video and then I'll raid him.
ICE incident over in Minnesota. Another activist lost his eye from a non-lethal round in California. But did they learn their lesson? No, it seems everything just keeps getting worse. As in Minnesota, again, ICE just popped another guy.
That there was an ICE-involved shooting in Minneapolis,
where this enraged the activists, despite
Hey Scott, have a great night, brother.
About this incident.
There's a person arrested, it seems. I'm not quite sure, on the ground. She looks like she's cuffed. There's Border Patrol officers in full camo. They're armed with a couple of them have night vision.
So the feds sent in tear gas to quell the crowds.
What up, Ashton? Good to see you, man. Welcome in.
Even deploying prison guards to stop the riots.
Yeah, 100%.
What it do? Y'all try to do y'all job. Let's see them
And all for what? To protest the shooting of an undocumented Venezuelan who was fleeing law enforcement, only to have two random other guys ambush and attack the agent, hitting him with a shovel or broomstick, when the officer ended up firing
and now all three of them are going to prison. Well, one of them's getting deported. The other two are going to fucking prison.
Striking the initial subject. And even though they tried to escape, they were all eventually detained, with both the officer and the attacker being hospitalized. It's almost like, again, ICE isn't out there kidnapping or attacking random citizens. It's just when they're out there enforcing our border laws, when they fear for their life, whether it be being hit by an activist vehicle or getting beaten by three idiots with a shovel, they are then forced to use their weapons in self-defense. But these activists never let inconvenient facts stop them from committing more felonies, as after they falsely accuse several random people driving SUVs of being ICE.
Yeah, like I said, I don't have to do this. I'm happy to do this. Yeah. That's all. We just got to stop this.
So he's got a lot of camera equipment. I think we can say this isn't ICE.
but I'm kind. I respect what you are doing. Yeah, no. I really appreciate what you guys are doing.
Were you here yesterday?
Yeah.
Yes, he was here yesterday. I can testify that. I didn't recognize him.
No, I appreciate your help. Thank you.
I'm not here to help you.
No,
I think the
understand.
fact that you're in a vehicle like this at this
I
time
get it.
is...
But with all due respect to everybody, I give you a couple of drive.
Well, you can. You go rent something else.
Until they actually found a federal vehicle unattended and proceeded to destroy and loot it. Rummaging through its contents, looking for documents.
This shit's so crazy to me, bro. I don't understand why the Insurrection Act hasn't been invoked already, but we will. I'm 100% sure it's about to be.
Even pulling out a safe from inside.
What up, Stamey? Welcome in, bro.
Put the mask on. Don't take it too much. Hold on. Put the mask on. Hey, they call me El Diablo. Santeria.
I'm pretty certain everybody involved in this needs to go to federal prison. Worst case, they're stealing weapons that require a tax stamp.
Right,
I'm
exactly.
certain none of them
Yeah.
have. Somewhat better case, they're stealing confidential Fed documents that'll just make them rearrange their plans, forcing them to absolutely flood the zone with 10x the amount of federal agents. And after I recorded this, Nick Sorter actually confirmed they found and stole a rifle out of that core.
And they got that guy's face on video, and they already know exactly who it is. He's so fucking cooked, bro. That guy right there on the left. Yep.
Oh my
Him.
God.
They already got his fucking face. He is so cooked, dude. I'm doing good, Stamey. I'm doing good, man. I'm hanging in there.
Hit some bullets.
As at the very least, they found documents in the vehicle that they even live streamed to everybody after finding. These activists have such a short-term mentality, as if stealing these documents was suddenly going to shift the momentum of their movement. And now that they have the current location
It did the exact opposite, actually. Now you just opened up fucking Pandora's box, let me tell you.
and direction of the agents, they're not going to immediately switch up, shift their entire focus on the activists that stole those documents and potential weapons inside that safe. And all for what? Because their angry and undocumented individual got popped for attacking a cop with a shovel. As I can say with absolute certainty, if somebody is willing to attack a Fed, their disregard for our laws don't end with that attack.
Nope,
and you
sure don't.
definitely wouldn't want that person living next to your grandparents.
Here comes the
But
military,
no,
motherfucker.
They can't comprehend any of these realities. They'll just screech, ISIS still attacking and kidnapping innocent individuals, which somehow results in them putting themselves in harm's way to protect the people that actually hate them. But at least ICE is getting more aggressive in arresting these activists.
I never said anything. I never said anything.
Letting them know stalking and stopping law enforcement is indeed a crime.
You know who else says things are unfair? Petulant children who don't get their way.
And if they don't comply, they will be forcibly detained.
They told this bitch to go like 7 or 8 times. This is what needs to happen.
I honestly kind of find it sad that these grown adults somehow just discovered that these federal agents aren't just playing a fun little game of, I don't have anything more important to do with my life, so I'm making that your problem, and now you need to babysit me. No, ICE is going after dangerous criminals that not only traffic substances, but sometimes people for slavery, which somehow isn't an issue to them because their emotions aren't based on consistent values. It's just whatever the...
I like how she was screaming about how she has a brain injury. Yeah, right? Yeah, Joseph got it. Yeah. Yeah. We know you're fucked in the head. Yeah, exactly.
TV and social media feeds tell them to be angry over. The scary part being, it's not just the harmless ladies with more emotions and information. Like we saw in that other video, some idiots are even saying they'll bring weapons, to which they already are.
Get arrested. I'm not. Get the on the car before you get
assault. Just asked you for an ID. That was
I don't give a what you asked me for. Shut up. You shut up. Shut up. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? He has a gun on him. Look at that. A fully registered firearm. Because I'm a U.S. citizen. What's wrong with y'all? Wow. Wow. Let's go.
Now this idiot might actually have his CCW to go along with the whistle he's also wearing, but it just goes to show the escalation that is occurring here. As first it was just imbeciles dancing in their vehicles while stalking and blocking the feds, and even she got tragically ended for her naive efforts. But now, it appears they're actually showing up with their whistle, resisting arrest while carrying a loaded weapon, which is sadly playing into exactly what the Democrat politicians want. They're practically begging for another sacrifice to start a hot conflict between a sanctuary city and the feds. As recently disgraced Governor Walz again suggests the feds are Nazis.
Going door to door, ordering people to point out where their neighbors of color live. They're pulling over people indiscriminately, including U.S. citizens, and demanding to see their papers.
Prove it. Fucking prove it. There's no documentation of this. People are recording ICE everywhere. Every time there's a video, there's like 6 or 7 other people, at the very least, with their phones out. But yet there's no videos of this. Isn't that interesting?
And at grocery stores, at bus stops, even at our schools. They're breaking windows, dragging pregnant women down the street, just plain grabbing Minnesotans and shoving them into unmarked vans. Kidnapping innocent people with no warning.
I have yet to see a single instance of ICE going door to door, asking for the people of color so they can arrest them regardless of citizenship. And for him to make insane claims like that just shows how desperate he is.
He's so fucking cooked, dude.
Practically begging for more activists to get in the way.
Help us establish a record of exactly what's happening in our communities. You have an absolute right to peacefully film ICE agents as they conduct these activities. So carry your phone with you at all times. And if you see these ICE agents in your neighborhood, take out that phone and hit record. Help us create a database of the atrocities against Minnesotans, not just to establish a record for posterity, but to bank evidence for future prosecution.
The more desperate he is to get the feds out of his state, the more guilty he looks for all that fraud. And the more they uncover, the more insane his claims will become. But at least Trump is finally cutting off their funding.
Starting February 1st, we're not making any payments to sanctuary cities or states having sanctuary cities because they do everything possible to protect criminals at the expense of American citizens, and it breeds fraud and crime and all of the other problems that come. So we're not making any payment to anybody that supports sanctuary cities.
As stopping the fraud is a start, but most Americans won't be happy until politicians are put into prison over this, where the theft of hundreds of billions of tax dollars was bad enough, but now it seems they're even willing to start a civil war just so they can continue to steal billions of our tax dollars. So if you appreciate my concise, lighthearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, hopefully I've earned your subscription. And
yeah, that was a good video. I mean, that's pretty much where we're at, man. You know, here, I'll go ahead and pull up Emmett's stream. We're gonna raid Emmett.
But yeah,
well, let me pause this. I'm gonna raid Emmett. This is the link to Emmett's video. What up, Dusty? Right. Hey, dude, I agree. I think that should have been like day one what they did, right? Yeah, Dusty, you just got here at the very end. I'm going to go ahead and raid Emmett. Guys, get over here. Emmett's he does really good content. I'm not like savvy with coding and tech and all that, and or like making art online or anything, and he's very, very good at that. So here you go, guys. Link to Emmett's channel. I'm going to go ahead and kick up a little music for a second, but that's going to be it for the stream today, guys. It was fun. Thank you all for being here. I always appreciate it, man. And yeah, boys, I hope you all have a great rest of your night. I'll be streaming again tomorrow, 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock tomorrow, all right? All right, boys. Y'all have a good night.